It is 6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Happy Friday. I'm Justin Hawkins. Tennessee Titans training camp day 2 in the books at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. Titans linebacker Cody Barton spoke to the media after practice yesterday and talked about Cam Ward wanting to learn from his mistakes, especially after throwing an interception.
I mean, you can tell he's eager to learn and he handles it in a very professional way. And, he's humble about it too. And he just wants to learn and just trying to find an advantage any way he can. So, someone that can, even as a rookie, come up and just be like, yo, what were we seeing here? How did you pick me off? It shows maturity out of him, and I like that because I'm trying to get him better, he's trying to get me better, and just we'll grow not just as me and him, but as a whole team.
The Titans will practice tomorrow at Nissan Stadium for the NFL's Back Together weekend. The event is free for fans to attend. In NFL news yesterday, the Las Vegas Raiders are releasing defensive tackle Christian Wilkins after just one season into a 4-year, $110 million contract with the designation of terminated vested veteran. Wilkins had a broken foot in Week 5 last season, but had a setback that put him on the PUP list to start training camp. The Raiders felt that Wilkins was not treating the rehab for his foot the right way, so the Raiders voided the contract. The remaining $35.2 million of guaranteed money left on his contract last month, and yesterday Wilkins filed a grievance with the NFLPA. Tonight, Nashville Soccer Club will conclude its 6-match July schedule as they visit the expansion side in Western Conference leading San Diego FC for the first ever meeting between the clubs, and first kick is at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. Nashville looking for their third straight win. Lucas Panzica, Eddie Carvacho have the call, and you can hear that match right here on 104.5 The Zone pregame starting at 9 p.m. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
A very happy Friday to you, wherever you may be listening in the city of Nashville and around the world. This is Ramon and Will. We are fueled by Scooters Coffee, locally owned Scooters Coffee near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. It is a good morning to have an amazing day here on Ramon and Will. The crew is present and accounted for. 11-year NFL veteran, Vol Network analyst Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins, our producer, can see us across the glass again.
Finally.
Making the show happen. My name is Will Bowling, 615-737-1045. The Inside Cats are back inside again in studio. How are we doing?
We're doing good, man. Happy Friday, man.
You as well.
It's good going to see grandmama them, man, going to your cousin them house. That's what that was, I guess, the last couple of days. But it's good being back home.
Sometimes you got to come back home, eat your vegetables, and go to bed on time.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what I'm looking forward to. And also my wife getting back in town. Dog, listen to me. I salute anybody that's out here doing this thing by themselves, solo. You single parents out there, man, single moms, single dads, I salute y'all. Do you hear me? I couldn't breathe yesterday, Will, is what I'm telling you. I went from one thing to the next and to the next, and then football practice to the next thing. I was just like, yo, this is shout out to the people that are doing it like that, man. I highly salute y'all. I had about 8 days of this solo. And boy, let me tell you, Will, this is eye opener is what I would say. I'm appreciative of partnership. Okay.
Oh, while your oldest son RJ is out there jet setting it and crushing it in the baseball world.
He has an opportunity. No, I actually got the opportunity now. He, for the first time, and I keep telling my wife, I'm like, yo, it's probably preparing us for something that we don't know down the line.
Sure.
He's been gone now from the house. This is week 2, fully away from the house. Mind you, also, we had just gotten back early this month from being on vacation, so he's only spent about 6 days at home.
That's awesome.
He actually
That's the dream summer in high school. Right there.
Oh my gosh! So he got invited to this other event, man. After this week in Florida, he got a major invite to this show. Well, not a showcase. It's I guess an all-star game for his class, or whatever, in Long Beach, California. So
that's awesome.
He will
awesome.
He will not be home, man, until August. I'd never imagined that.
Yeah, right. That's the kind of summer you dream about when you're in high school.
I know, and he's doing what he's loved, playing sports and stuff like that. But 6 days total he spent at home in the month of July.
Wow, it's well deserved. A lot of hard work has gone into the practice with you involved as well, helping him out, and him and Miles both crushing it.
Yeah. Oh, we had a scrimmage yesterday.
You got two athletes.
Oh, no. Well, they better be scholars is what I'm telling you.
Student.
Student. You feel me?
Capitalize the student.
We better get that down first. You feel me? That and good manners and loving the Lord is what we need to be at first.
Amen.
But how was yesterday, man? Were you hot as I was yesterday? Wasn't that bad?
Maybe I'm just conditioning myself for tomorrow's open practice, but it wasn't. I thought yesterday wasn't as bad as Wednesday. We had a little bit of a breeze off Lake Ambulance yesterday at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. A more spirited practice yesterday.
That's that day two.
That's right.
That's that day two. You get in, man. You know what to expect a little bit more, man. Being out there is really cool, though. It does bring back a lot of just like memories, man. I will say there's something about sports, and specifically when you've played it for a very long time, you be like, oh my gosh, like I do miss this type of stuff. But I don't miss the physicality. Watching them yesterday, they're fast. It's when they say like it's a young man's game. No, you old heads out there to be trashing folks like me from time to time. Let it go, man. Them dudes out there they are different animals, man. So it's fun watching it, is what I will say. Being in it, not so much.
Yeah, what I'm hearing is that you, like Nick Saban, get to certain parts of the offseason where you are bored and you're like, oh, I could still do a little bit of this. Like, I could get out there and do enough to be dangerous, and then you watch it happen in front of you, and you understand the grind of doing it one day and then getting up the next morning and doing it again the next day, and you're like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah, I am.
Not only good, I'm great, actually, with the job that I have.
As a coach right now, Will, I'm coaching middle school football. Like, I'm of that same mindset. I walked off the field yesterday. By the way, I was doing 3HL and walking off the field and coaching kids at the same time, okay? And I was thinking to myself, man, my feet hurt. It's just like an old man.
The little things, right?
It was the little things, but that used to happen in like during training camp, and it did not matter.
Right.
It legitimately did not matter. And maybe some of the stuff that we were doing, like getting in the pool afterwards and cold tubbing it and just being in that zone. That's why like the mental part of like doing that is so important for guys to understand like this is a grind.
It was funny yesterday. Greg Olson was on Bus with the Boys this week, and I've seen a lot of the clips of that. And he is also a middle school football coach.
Is he?
With Luke Kuechly and Jonathan Stewart.
No.
And he did an interview with Will Compton and Taylor Lewan on Bussin' with the Boys, saying like, I'm almost embarrassed to admit how seriously we're taking being middle school football coaches and installing things. Basically, we're telling our kids we're playing real football. Yeah, we're trying to. And Will was like, y'all are trying to take some souls out there on Thursday afternoons. He's like, yeah, no. The message to the parents is we're not coming here just to have. We're playing real football.
Yes. No.
And I just imagine a Ramon Foster middle school football coach being on the field, be like, hey, boys, we ain't here to just get cool pictures on your Instagram to show the girls in the 8th grade. We're here to play real football.
You must have been in my speech yesterday, okay? Coach Mash, man, allows all the players, let all the coaches say their stuff. And I was like, hey, we got a standard over here. Do you understand? We walk out there.
The standard is the standard.
Hey, man.
He's trying to become a little bit more like Mike Tomlin as a middle school football coach.
Yes, Will.
That's hilarious.
I had to tell somebody yesterday,
you get black Air Force Ones for all your middle school players?
Listen, with shiesty mask on, you hear me? Yes. We had a situation yesterday, I will not lie to you. It wasn't even my position player. It was a kid that got, you know what I'm saying, he got caught lacking by one. He got sideswiped by one of the players on the other team. And I said, hey, fellas, we play football. I was like, don't y'all allow that. Then I got my big boys. I said, hey, player over there, hit your player after the play. We got to go get him back. Legitimately, I told him, I was like, now,
life lessons too, and not only football lessons.
In between the whistle, find who he is.
Echo of the whistle.
And he got to go get it. Do you guys? Yes, sir, Coach Foster. And you know what happened like 4 plays later? Coach Foster, he ain't going to do our teammate like that no more. You damn right. Hey, Will, heck yeah.
That's
you've been around me too long. You are getting my trade secrets, man.
You basically just described at the middle school level what's been going on with Boo Carter in Tennessee. I mean,
we ain't going for that. Yeah.
Brent Hubbs coming up at 7:20 this morning.
You doggone right, man. But it was clean in between the whistle.
I love that.
It was. But Luke Kuechly, them are not wrong. I told them, I was like, we play football, right, fellas? Yes, sir. was like, is this not a violent game? Yes, sir. Are we not going to go be the bullies today? Yes, sir. I was just like, yeah, it's a mindset, Will.
Molding the next generation.
Oh, my gosh. Listen.
Future NFL football players.
Then the technique I'm trying to teach them on the O-line.
Yeah, right.
If they lose it by the time they get to high school, I'm coming out there belt to behind is what I'm telling you. I'm laying down the foundation.
You're going to be the Buddy Garrity from Friday Night Lights on the sideline at high school football games.
Hey, dog, you hear me?
Son, get over here.
And guess what else is happening north of the city, too, in Louisville with my brother? My brother, Renardo, he was coaching high school football years ago before he went and got his master, freaking overachiever, okay? Bash somebody for getting an education, okay?
Right,
but he's now currently being courted by the high school that his daughter, my niece, is at. And he was just like, Moan. He called me yesterday, Moan, I think I'm gonna go back out there, man. He was like, I don't like what I'm
stay away.
Yeah, he couldn't stay away. He was like, I don't like what I'm seeing from those guys, and they need my help. I was like, Nardo, do they not understand that like you a very outward coach? He was like, yeah, if I step on some toes, they'll be all right.
They'll live. They'll be better for it.
My brother Renardo's about to go back coach again,
Sounds
man.
like y'all are wired the same way is what I'm hearing.
And he's the quiet one.
Oh, okay.
But he's not. But he's not. Well, we are wired the same way. That was my him and Ron, the dudes I chase, man.
I love it. Well, Ron will be on the show at 9:20 this morning. Slay.
Who is
will be
Ron?
on the show at 9:20 this morning. Your phone calls at 615-737-1045. Day 2 Titans training camp takeaways on the other side. Defense winning the day, and we'll tell you how coming up next. Friday morning on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on a 104.5 The Zone. The boys back in the studio here on this Friday morning, 615-737-1045, and streaming live at 104.5 The Zone TV. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. We invite you to watch us on the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/1045 The Zone TV. Make it real easy for you to join us right there. Defense setting the tone yesterday, Ramon Foster.
Yep.
And they did so on Cam Ward's first throw. We were still on air when it happened. An interception to Cody Barton, his third of the offseason on the Tennessee Titans rookie quarterback Cam Ward. Cam, it was 5 of 8 in the 7-on-7 period, according to Jim Wyatt. 4 of 6 in the team drills, making him 9 of 14 on the day with 1 pick and almost 2. Through the first 2 days of camp, Cam Ward 21 of 31 with the pick in 7-on-7 and team periods combined. I think a lot of Titans fans, Ramon, if they're going to pick anyone to intercept Cam Ward, would pick Cody Barton, considering the need the Titans have for him to be a really good coverage linebacker.
Absolutely. And that's the thing about it. So I know a lot of people are probably looking at Cody Barton like, leave our young king alone. As far as like Cam goes, like, no. I think this is probably one of the better things to happen in training camp this early than almost anything we've seen the last few years, Will, meaning you got a guy that's been actively good in coverage. He's a guy that's actually not just getting his hand on the ball, but actually intercepting it. This isn't a tip ball drill for a guy like him. And where this team is, I feel like, in his rebuild, having the defense lead the charge ain't a bad thing, and specifically at the inside linebacker position where it's been somewhat lacking, too. Cody Barton, at his price point, too, this is, return on investment type of stuff we're speaking about right now, man. If he can do his job covering up the middle of the field like that, or being active, or at least being a threat, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least you don't have somebody that's throwing over the middle, picking them apart. I expect this from Cody Barton, man. This is good stuff, especially the way we spoke about this preseason. I mean, his signing of him having coverage skills, or you didn't know if he could. I remember him speaking on 3HL. I was like, no. I've been working on this. And it's good to see his instincts picking up.
I think Cody Barton, who was a converted safety when he played at Utah in college, doesn't get enough credit for how good of a coverage guy that he is. And Ramon, talking to him, and every time I've heard him speak after practice, whether that is now during training camp or earlier this offseason during mini camp or OTAs, he does not see coverage as a limitation or as a weakness of any kind. And I feel like that is one thing you could relate to, and some things that some players get frustrated with is there becomes a narrative around them that they don't feel like is fair. Like, there are times where guys know what their weaknesses are. Like, I imagine you can speak to this obviously better than me. Right.
Like pulling. Right. Like, I was like, no, I can pull. I asked CJ Mosley about that when I cleaned his clock. You know what I'm saying? Like, and others when they say, choo, like, you better get off the train. To your point, players hate that type of stuff. So myself, I worked on my drop step on pulling. I worked on my hips. I worked on the idea of, look, I know I got to cheat this to make sure this also happens.
Right.
So, yeah, guys have those types of things on them.
Well, and I think, too, in the world of PFF and Pro Football Focus, which is a good secondary tool. It's kind of like when you're in college and you get taught primary and secondary sources to write essays or to write research papers.
Ooh, taking me back.
Your primary sources are the meat and potatoes of why you are making an argument or why you are bringing evidence to say, according to this author who was boots on the ground watching X, Y, or Z happen in history, this is why this moment in history went the way, like things like that. Secondary sources might be more hearsay, might be more analysis and opinion that is not based in fact or fiction, but is based in an expert bringing additional knowledge to advance the conversation, but not make the conversation, if that makes sense. That is Pro Football Focus. And especially, Ramon, I think we live in a world where not all PFF numbers are created equally. And we've talked about this offseason. The way that linebackers and safeties are graded in coverage sometimes unfairly penalizes them when there's a screen pass. So if there is a screen pass for an offensive lineman, if, like you said, choo-choo, the runaway train, when guys like you get downfield and are able to block you out of the way, that should not be graded the same way as if you are covering a tight end over the middle, or if you're in a Tampa 2 defense trying to sit at the sticks over the middle part of the field on 3rd and 8, trying to cover the middle part of the field, you just get beat. Like, those aren't the same things. Your inability to cover a screen pass and your inability to man a zone or man coverage in one area of the field. Cody Barton was unfairly penalized for some screen passes where he was victimized and in coverage made him look worse than he actually is in coverage.
That's tough because a lot of people can point that towards Will, the defensive line for getting up the field too much. And I wanted to your point, you actually piqued a thought in my mind with that. In those moments, is that a pressure for the defensive line that are getting upfield on screen plays? Or is I feel like that's like a dummy play for an offensive lineman. Okay, I let you block me to get upfield and pressure my quarterback, and then he dumps it off for a completion still. Like, there's flaws in the system is essentially what you're saying. Like, not all tape is judged the same, and not all those experts at PFF understand the schemes and also the assignments on those plays too. But to your point about like a guy like Cody, clearly watching him, Cody Barton, watching him drop in coverage, he's comfortable. Watching him be in space and actually be around the football, those are things that aren't foreign to him. And to your point earlier about it being an emphasis, like, I think linebacker's first role is to be physical. Get the runner down on the ground, be a commander of the middle of the field as it pertains to the run. The secondary part of that is always going to be a challenge for guys. And I think that's why there's a lot of optimism for a guy like James Williams, right? Like, if you put him, who's a safety, all his life in those positions. Now, you got to ask the question, what is he going to do when Quentin Nelson, faces him up? Does he have that in him to be able to attack a guy like him? So they're going to have their issues, or I guess questions leading into this thing. But seeing Cody Barton not be foreign to putting his hand on the football like that, you have to be, if you're a coach for him, Frank Bush, very optimistic about what you can do.
Rookie safety Kevin Winston Jr. at his second practice yesterday, forcing a turnover against Josh Wiley. Pick your designation of this, whether you think it is an interception or just Wiley fumbling shortly after making a catch. Regardless, Kevin Winston Jr. forced a turnover. Jim White at TennesseeTitans.com saying he is calling it an interception since Wiley initially had possession of a pass from Brandon Allen. Kevin Winston Jr. has quickly looked like he's done this before at the NFL level. And I remember talking to people back in the offseason program and minicamp at OTAs. There are some guys, we talked about this yesterday, some guys who just stand to watch practice. There are others who are literally visualizing doing everything that is going on at practice. Kevin Winston Jr., people feel like, is the latter. Yeah. He is the kind of guy who you have to literally hold him off the field. Otherwise, he's going to try to run on and participate in something. But Kevin Winston Jr. getting into it a little bit yesterday with Mason Kinsey after one play. Yep. That was the first little scuffle we saw. There was nothing tense, nothing bad. I think coaches probably liked a little bit of the aggressiveness and a little bit of the spiciness.
You know what's
so
crazy?
To say, because we didn't see as much of that in practice number one.
What's crazy about that is, man, with this new era of setting up like training camp, they be able to get all that out on a day like today. We used to just have 2 days of like no pads, the acclimation wheel, and then today is full pads go, and they still got to wait on that one like that.
Yeah, they'll be in pads Tuesday next week is when they will start padded practice.
It's a long time of acclimating, but I get it. The game, 17 games is why, is what I'm saying. But good on him, man. Kevin Winston Jr. for not backing down. But you mentioned something, man, that's super unique about him. I think when you have guys like him that were pushed down in the draft because of some uncontrollables, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ticks you off, that feeds the beast a little bit more than I think others realize. So seeing the Titans to honestly be able to identify a type that they wanted and a guy that has a need to play right now with the skill set too, it'd be awesome to see him have a really good rookie year.
He's a really impressive guy, and listening to him meet with the media yesterday, talking about some of the things he just noticed because he had to be off the field and how much added motivation there was for him having to watch rookie minicamp, mandatory minicamp at OTAs from the sideline. I know Mike Bergonzi and Chad Brinker in their introductory press conference of camp talked about him being here all summer, being here all offseason, and taking advantage of that time. It was a pleasant surprise that he was not on the PUP list. And it's always good when a GM at the beginning of a guy starting his NFL career makes a statement about their availability that player then follows up on.
Yeah.
Like Mike Bergonzi was clear saying, hey, in the draft process, a lot of the doctors and people that we talked to told us Kevin Winston Jr. would be ready by training camp. And it's nice to have, we talk so much about the situations where that doesn't happen, where we'll talk about a player like, hey, they're going to be ready for camp. And that guy's not even close to being ready. Kevin Winston Jr. has followed through on his early commitments from his camp and from team doctors and all those things to be available. I think a very good sign and a good start for his first couple practices.
I got to give it to the Titans as far as their offseason program. They have a ton of guys that elect to stay in town and train with the team trainers. And
is that more of a thing because this is such a younger team?
No, I think it's just because it's possibly good.
Oh, okay. And it's a city people want to be in the offseason.
That's easier.
Because that's not the case for all 30. Ain't nobody wants to stay in Jacksonville unless they have to.
Pittsburgh was fine, but I was racing to get back to Tennessee.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nashville is inviting to want to be here. But again, it speaks about the training that those guys is doing. And I've met the trainer, and what I would say is this. My understanding is a bit of old school with technology thrown into it too. And when you have both of those things, you don't have to go to Arizona. You don't have to go to Miami. Heck, as hot and humid as it is here too, you condition yourself for the elements that you're going to be working in. But I say that to give people pull the curtain back a little bit. Most NFL trainers are into injury prevention. Mm-hmm. They don't want to push you. They don't want to make you sprint. They don't want to do the things that a maniac trainer like I had would have you running because they're the fear of getting you hurt. And to see these guys stay in and be ready to go day one of training camp speaks volumes about their offseason program.
Tremont Jones, Femi Oladejo, and Arden Key all disruptive on the timing of the quarterbacks yesterday. Good to see Femi Oladejo showing up a little bit and being as quick as he is off of the edge. Yesterday, Ramon, Peter Skoronski, and he is allowed to say this because he is a fan of soccer, compared playing offensive line without pads on to playing soccer. Is that a fair assessment? What is it like as an offensive lineman playing your position this first week of camp without pads on?
It is probably the exact same way. Oh, well, there's too many exactlys right there. It's possibly the same way that you got to stay in front of a guy.
Exactly.
You got to minimize their movement. It's a cat and mouse game of, playing keep away with the football as it pertains to you protecting your quarterback. What I'm getting at is this. My strength is my size and my power and the ability to be physical. You can't do that. I can't grab onto your shoulder pads because you have none. You're more slippery at this moment. And I view it as a situation that is not real football, to be quite honest with you, for those guys up front. And it's hard to judge them because, like you said, hearing Arden Key or Femi Oladejo beat those guys, there's a component of physicality to where I'm sure Peter wants to go clean up Femi or Arden. And you can't do that this time of the year because you'll get practices docked from you right now, too.
Right. So how much of non-padded practices then, Ramon, favors the defensive line?
I would say all of them, being real with you.
Really?
Because they're on the attack. They're on the attack.
So there's certain things you can't do to counter moves as a lineman.
No.
When you're going up against your teammates, and much less when you're going up against them without pads on.
We'll hurt ourselves or them if we move up and let's say and they run games. They run stunts up front.
Yeah, they do.
If I hit them with my shoulder or bang somebody else in the chest without shoulder pads on, I get blamed because I'm overly physical.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're expected to get upfield and be missiles, and you're just supposed to receive the blunt of it. And it puts a disadvantage to you because if I have these shoulder pads on, I can go hit you and do a whole lot more to you and slow you down. Body on body sucks. But here's the thing. We move backwards. They move forward in those situations. Right. Unless it's a run game. But I can't grab you because you're sweaty.
Right.
The jerseys are tight as heck on you. And it really takes away from the job is what it is.
So is it harder to grab onto a defensive lineman when there aren't shoulder pads?
It is.
Because that is where you talk about in the blind side, they talk about it. Grab them right here at the, literally at your chest. Yeah,
yes,
right.
At the chest plate.
Right.
That's essentially what it is. And that's removed because, I'm grabbing your body and skin at that point.
Right, exactly.
And those dudes
act
like little babies at times. Dude, you pinched me.
I was wondering when you were going to go personal.
Exactly. I was good until I had a flashback.
You're right for a little bit.
I was great. right for a little bit. But what I'm getting at is this. There is no ability to grab. And yes, offensive linemen don't hold, but we can grab and be athletes and stay in front of you. And it sucks, though, Will, because they will be adamant because their defensive line coaches and defenses want them to be attacking. And we got to be on the receiving end of it. And you just got to kind of sit back in the team meetings and be like, Coach, I promise you I'm going to get them when we get the pads on.
Yeah.
But guess what? The offensive line coach don't want to hear that. And it really puts you behind the 8 ball with just the understanding of how to play the game.
I mean, really, the evaluation process of the new Titans offensive line starts next week.
It does, period.
It really does. And at this point, there's not much that we can learn about Dan Moore, about the way Kevin Zeitler and J.C. Latham are working together. And really the same can be said about the front 7 and the edge rushers.
And the double teams.
Yeah, exactly. That evaluation process starts next week. And for now, it feels a little bit more slanted towards, all right, what can we learn about these skill guys?
Facts.
And what can we learn about the quarterback? And is he throwing it to the right team? And Saturday, if you're going out of there to Nissan Stadium, and again, SeatGeek and TennesseeTitans.com where you can get tickets, you're going to see some red zone periods on Saturday. And that is where we're playing as close to real football as it's going to get for a little bit, especially in the first week, because you start getting into situational, competitive contexts of practice. Now we can learn something.
Yeah.
Now we can really see, like, can Cam Ward make some tight window throws? Can these receivers get off the ball and beat some of these young defensive backs? I'll tell you who also impressed me again yesterday is Jamari Harris. The undrafted rookie out of Iowa is, I think has a strong chance of making this team. Strong chance of making this team. And I think we're talking about another guy that is in the same boat as a young Trey Avery was a few years ago, coming out of Houston, of a guy who was impressive. Like, and you know how it is too. Like, there are certain undrafted guys that just stand out because they just keep making plays. And you just can't help it. Oh, there's number 28 again. There's Jamari Harris again, making a play. So he is someone I really have my eye on, and especially if L'Jarius Sneed's absence is extended on the PUP list. Jamari Harris is maybe the person that benefits the most from that, with his chances of A, making the team, and B, contributing. Now he's just got to continue to sustain it, because guys like Gabe Judy Lally, who were here last year, are not just going to give that position away.
Man, I'm glad you bring that up as it pertains to those undrafted guys. And I'm not saying this because I am an undrafted guy, but here's the thing about the draft. There's only 256 or 265 draft picks, right? There's a lot of players that have played a whole lot of reps and have made plays in college that just get overlooked. They don't hit that measurement or that criteria that GMs or coaches look for. Sure. But they get in the football setting, Will, and it's a different conversation. They get in the football setting, they can make plays. They're in their element. This guy may be, Xavier Restrepo. 4'8" guy, didn't test well, but when you look at his tape, you say, he's a playmaker. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you bring that up, because there's a ton of guys that live that life, Will, that just need an opportunity to get in the training camp. I play for a team, man, in Pittsburgh that truly believe that look, opportunities for everybody. It's on you on what you choose to do with it. And the thing that sucks is a lot of guys start to believe that they are less than who they are, and because they're undrafted. And to your point about those guys, well, man, go fight, prove yourself.
Yeah, the relative athletic score for Jamari Harris, he did not test significantly well, a 3.61 out of 10. And that's not gospel. That's not everything. It just tells a part of the story about a player. It just tells you the way you can deploy them. But Iowa corners being known as more sticky, handsy, aggressive, and intelligent defensive backs playing for Kirk Ferentz. Say what you will about Kirk Ferentz and that program and maybe the ceiling that it has hit at Iowa. There is one thing that is not debatable about them. They develop pros. And especially in the defensive backfield, they develop, and Amani Hooker, another one. Cooper DeJean.
Oh.
He's not a safety.
Starting as a rookie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Desmond King, who was here a few years ago, now in Houston. Another guy.
And there's the other part, especially with those guys, those young guys in the secondary. People might have to fill in spots. I'm side-eyeing the L'Jarius Sneed, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, until we see him, I think it's okay to be skeptical about his health and his ability to contribute to this team.
Because we'll get to the season, and then it could be a situation it's like, he's going to be out for a while, and we just got to sit and look at that. Like, no, it's right to be looking at these young guys. It's right to be giving opportunity for guys to make a stake for themselves and to why they should be on this team because of that one particular situation.
Cody Barton, the man of the hour yesterday at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park, a big group of reporters talking with him. Jim Wyatt put this out about Cody Barton speaking after practice as it pertains to the interception, the play of the defense, and the way him and Cam Ward are debriefing after practice when things do go the defense's way. Here is new Titans inside linebacker Cody Barton via Jim Wyatt.
It was a good day. I mean, it's good to compete back and forth, but I don't know. We had a talk yesterday as a defense, and we felt like we weren't dominant enough on the first day. And so I think as a group, a collective group, we decided, this day's got to be something that we're going to make that emphasis as a group win, and take it one rep at a time, one play at a time. And then that collectively will just add up, into a day's win, I guess you could say, But yeah, today felt like it was a good day. There's always things to improve and always things to correct, obviously, but, a good foundation to build upon.
Is that 3 of Cam? You had 2 in the offseason and then first one today? Yeah. Are you letting him know that?
Yeah, no, I did not, because I'm worried about that. 2 plays later, I dropped one.
Yeah, that's true.
But, no, it's just good to compete. And those kind of mistakes, they happen, but it's good to have him in camp early for him to learn from them, okay? And, we'll talk later when the time comes in the locker room about what I was seeing, what he was seeing, and how we can correct that going forward.
And a sign that you're in a position to make plays like that, is that kind of a sign that you're kind of up to speed in this defense and feeling good about how things are going?
Yeah, I feel great in this defense. Yeah. The way Coach calls it, it lets you play fast, and I feel like that's an attribute of mine, and just it's a lot of fun.
Cody, you mentioned
there is Cody Barton talking post practice.
Smart though, man, on him. He said they weren't as dominant. It was day one, Cody. What are you?
And that's the thing I wanted to bring up to you is that, again, and maybe we're cliche and overemphasizing it too much, but I don't think we are. That, again, this is the value of having a young quarterback who raises the level of everyone around you. And the fact that he has had some really good days at practice forces the defense to lock in a little bit more on the practice field. And all of a sudden, they want their get back, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, they're sitting around saying, like, guys, this rookie's carving us up a little bit too much. Like, we have to lock in. Yeah. And yesterday, the defense did lock in. Cam was not great yesterday. And that's okay. Yeah. It's one day.
It is. That's the back and forth battle, man. You bring up a point, to be quite honest about, there's a sense of pride of that day-to-day battling. And we're going to have a conversation in the 8 o'clock hour, man. I think that's super unique about what this training camp can be.
And about why Cody Barton picked off Cam Ward, because I think there's a interesting discussion to be had about why Cody, in his own words, was able to know the script a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe do a little bit of cheating to pick off Cam Ward.
Man, camp is such a beautiful process. I know I say that, and y'all probably was like, man, you shut up, you Neanderthal.
Nobody's saying that.
No, I'm just saying because I speak about football like it's science, like it's chemistry, or like we're, third level, like just politics or something, whatever it is. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, it really is. When you dive deep into the ins and outs of like training camp, like the fact that the defense felt like, oh, we need more, that's because of ego.
There's more to it than just running around hitting each other.
It is. And throwing and catching.
For sure. Absolutely right.
I love it, man.
I want to talk more about something Brian Callahan said yesterday in a potential abstract solution to the Titans' pass rush problem. Your phone call is 615-737-1045. Plus, a receiver in the AFC said something absolutely so far out of pocket yesterday, speaking to the media, that we're going to have to react to it here. We'll do that next. Hey, it's Will Bowling for my friends at Lee Company. If you are thinking about getting into the trades or you are ready to take your skills further, Lee Company has the opportunities that you're looking for. Lee Company is hiring skilled tradespeople in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, sheet metal, and more. With 80 plus years in business, competitive pay, and free training, League Company's award-winning team is ready to help you grow in your career. You can apply today at leaguecompany.com/careers. That's leaguecompany.com/careers. Maybe you've been seeing the League Company fleet of vehicles driving around Middle Tennessee. That's because they've got over 1,000 vehicles in their fleet. You're thinking, you know what? I want to be a part of what League Company has going on. Over 80 years of experience, League Company has been trusted in the area since 1944, and they are involved in our communities as well. 615-567-1000 is the number to call. They're online at leaguecompany.com/careers. That's League Company. All you need. Wrapping up hour one this morning on Ramon and Will. We are fueled by Scooter's Coffee, locally owned Scooter's Coffee. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Justin Hawkins, our producer, Ramon Foster, and Will Bowling. 615-737-1045 at Ramon Foster, at Will_Bowling. You can follow the show and stream it live on Twitter at Ramon and Will. Ramon Foster, what if Jeffrey Simmons was a part-time edge rusher this year? How do you feel about that?
Well, he's at that point in his career where as long as he got guys in front of him, I'm not mad at it. Like, I like him being out there, probably for 75% of the reps because of his presence, what he means to opposing offenses and stuff like that. Him getting sacks and specializing in it, you got to be real good at it is what I'm saying.
Sure.
I think, let's say him being out for a series or two, I would live that life more than just saying he's a rush specialist. I honestly don't want to see Jeff as a pass rusher only because his reputation isn't built on that. His reputation is honestly built on the fact that he can clog the hole and get upfield and be a disruptor. The pass rush, to me, I think is a bonus. When I honestly look at Jeff's career and how his kind of played out, I get the 10 sacks things. I think Jeff can easily be a great 5 to 8 sacks while also being a monster up the middle. And he probably hear me say that and be like, no, I want those 10 sacks, and I'm with that. But as far as the role for this team and what your reputation already is, I don't want him out there for just 50% of the reps.
That's true. That's fair. If you're, are you, as a D-lineman, this might be a dumb question.
No.
Do you get beaten up more going around the edge? Why do you say if he is more of a pass rush specialist, that might require him to take more snaps off?
Because you got to be willing to seek and destroy in those moments right there, too. I think Jeff's strongest attribute is his ability to beat you down over the course of the game, long as he's not getting beat up, too. And I think that's why it's important for him to be able to take a series off or 2 off. I remember watching him on the sideline last year, and he was off and needed to be off, and the defense just gave it up and gave it up.
Yeah,
and you saw
they didn't have the depth to allow him to be off the field for that long.
And then you see him get frustrated, going back out there sooner than I think he was supposed to in those moments. And I can understand that frustration of saying, you know what? I'll just go out there and do it myself.
So you mean because Will Levis threw a pick?
You see what I'm saying?
And that's, again, where there is a value that you can't put on the stat sheet in your offense sustaining drives and giving your defense a chance to rest. Mm-hmm. When you don't have competitive depth in your front seven the way that you would like to in the future, your offense has to do your defense some favors because you are not afforded the luxury of benching Jeffrey Simmons for a series or for not benching. You're not benching him. You're giving him a rest in order to get younger guys in there who are fresher, but that's not a luxury you have when you don't trust some of those younger guys fully yet.
And I've been on the field where we stunk probably through a streak of 4 games. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard the defense voice that out. Man, y'all turn the ball over again. It'd be 2 plays, we'll end up right back out there having to defend the short field. Yeah. Nobody offense is immune to that, but the consistency of being able to give that up or be, off the field for just 2 plays and having to go save the day again. How many times last year, I think about the Minnesota game where turnovers would happen, whether it be from Mason or whether it be from Will Levis, and the defense got to go defend the short field. And the defense does really good first 2 plays, and then there's a first down, and then they got to go again. And then the next thing you know, the offense get a 3 and out. That will wear you down. That'll make you retire quickly. So it's super important for Cam and his offense to really be able to give a defense a breather. If it be times where we have a 12-play drive, and you see the spark out of the defensive linemen, specifically those guys, before they're ready to run back out there, and you don't see – we hadn't seen that in the last 2 years.
No, we haven't. I'll tell you the area where I'm okay Jeffrey Simmons being off the edge a little bit is going up against some of these young, inexperienced tackles in the AFC South.
Work them.
We're going to talk about this in 10 minutes. We're going to go around the AFC South at some headlines. All 3 teams that you're going to play twice this season have major offensive line questions. All 3 of them. And for Indy, it is in the interior where they lose one guy. In Houston, it's on both tackle spots with Cam Robinson coming in for Laramie Tunzel and a rookie second-round pick, Ariante Ursery, who is already taking first-team reps. And Jacksonville is just Jacksonville. I mean, let's be honest. Jacksonville, who always has offensive line questions and always is rebuilding and battling in the trenches. I saw Nate Tice of Yahoo put out yesterday. He, in his words, says the Titans have the best offensive line in the division. And if you feel like there is a matchup you can exploit by moving Jeffrey Simmons around in the way, and I'm going to bring up a sad moment for Titans fans, so just bear with me. I'm giving a trigger warning here. In the same way the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a few years ago moved Vita Vea on the outside just to go up against Andre Dillard. That's the context where I'm okay with Jeffrey Simmons. All right, Ariante Ursery is a rookie out of Minnesota, drafted in the 2nd round at right tackle. Yeah, we're putting Jeffrey Simmons over that guy a couple times on third downs and see what happens. Like, when you have an advantageous matchup to where you feel like your best guy can beat their worst guy, that is where I think the Titans could move Jeff around as a chess piece and take advantage of that a little.
That's a pass rush specialist.
That's where he becomes an edge rusher part-time.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something the Titans are really going to do a ton. And Brian Callahan said it yesterday and said he's got versatility to do all that. Saying, I think even some last year he rushed as an edge on different spots. So we didn't do it a ton, he says, but Jeff's got versatility, and I think that's what makes him unique. Says he had 18.2 miles an hour in practice, running after Tajay Spears on that long screen pass on Wednesday. I don't know, just something to think about.
That's tough right there. I'm be honest with you. That's a big man moving. I heard him talk a little bit about it. Callahan, I think it was yesterday, like everybody's asking about the weight loss situation with Big Jeff. It's like, but he didn't lose muscle or strength. That is a different component of it, too. Like, you can be the same muscle mass, but lighter in weight. That pays dividends for you, man, and your speed and hopefully his durability, too. We're going to see, this is a big year to see what this looks like for a guy like Jeffrey Simmons. Is the payoff there as far as the sacks go? Because as much as we're talking about him being productive and getting to the quarterback and stuff like that, if he hits 6 sacks this year, then, what's the conversation in December? You know what I'm saying? In January, going into the next year, does he need to go back to be the run stopper, or is it just the longevity of his career is what he's, what's the main concern here?
Yesterday, Tyreek Hill admitted something, Ramon, I don't think he should have admitted. Did you see this?
I didn't see anything.
On social media yesterday. Here is Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill admitting that he is not his kid's favorite player.
I love that.
If we have that, Justin.
I love that for him.
It was muted, sir.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, that's a demerit.
All good. All good. Here we go. Tyreek Hill.
A lot. I tell you what, man, kids, dog, my sons, they be on my head. They be like, Dad, Justin Jefferson, dog. My kids are like Justin Jefferson fanatics. So they really enjoy Justin Jefferson a lot. So I was talking to my son on FaceTime last night. And his mom told me, she was like, one of the kids came up to him and was like, hey, you Tyreek Hill, son? He was like, nah, Justin Jefferson, my dad. I'm like, so I got him on FaceTime. I'm like, so Justin Jefferson is your dad? He was like, nah, Dad. I was like, well, tell Justin Jefferson to take your ass to Disney World.
Really funny answer, and I commend Tyreek Hill for having a sense of humor. I don't know if I would have admitted that publicly.
I'm going to be real with you, Will. You be shocked about your kids, man. My kids were excited to get a Patrick Mahomes jersey. You hear me, man? After he had just beat us. That's what I'm telling you, dog. Like, that's normal because of them. You're a dude to them. You're not a superstar.
Right.
Oh, that is awesome.
And that's the pro athlete.
They see, what their friends brag about. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty sweet. I love that for them.
I wonder how many of his kids, I wonder how many different favorite athletes there are of Tyreek's many offspring.
I actually asked Miles, my youngest, and I did a little daddy-son a little dinner after the scrimmage yesterday, and we was at B-Dubs in Hendersonville. Shout out to Chris who walked up to us.
Nice.
And I had to, ask Miles. I said, Miles, man, is it bothersome when people walk up to me, and do y'all feel a certain type of way? He was like, no, Dad, I think it's kind of cool.
Nice.
I was like, all right, okay. Because I want to respect their space and my time with them. So Miles was like, no, Dad, I actually like it. So his son will grow older and realize the legend that he is, too. So that's funny.
I like it.
That's normal.
615-737-1045 as hour 2 begins. Coming up, we will have Brent Hubbs on with us at 7:20 as always on Fridays, and lots to get into in Knoxville. As Brent will bring us the latest in the Boo Carter fiasco, if he is expected to be at Tennessee Fall Camp, which starts in 4 days up in Knoxville next week. But when we come back, AFC South training camp headlines, some injuries in Houston, a rookie turning heads in Indianapolis, and a snap count for Travis Hunter beginning his first training camp. We'll go through it all for you coming up next.
It is 7:01. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Happy Friday. I'm Justin Hawkins. Tennessee Titans training camp day 2 in the books at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. Titans linebacker Cody Barton spoke to the media yesterday after practice and talked about Cam Ward wanting to learn from his mistakes, especially after throwing an interception.
I mean, you can tell he's eager to learn, and he handles it in a very professional way. And he's humble about it too. And he just wants to learn and just trying to find an advantage any way he can. So someone that can even as a rookie, come up and just be like, what were we seeing here? How did you pick me off? It shows maturity out of him, and I like that because I'm trying to get him better, he's trying to get me better, and just we'll grow not just as me and him, but as a whole team.
The Titans will be back at practice tomorrow at Nissan Stadium for the NFL's Back Together weekend. The event is free for fans to attend. In other NFL news, the Las Vegas Raiders are releasing defensive tackle Christian Wilkins after just one season into a 4-year, $110 million contract with the designation of terminated vested veteran. Wilkins had a broken foot in Week 5 last season and missed the rest of the season, but he had a setback to start the offseason, and they put him on the PUP list to start training camp. The Raiders felt that Wilkins was not treating the rehab right for his foot. The Raiders voided the remaining $35.2 million of his guaranteed contract. Wilkins then filed a grievance with the NFLPA yesterday. Tonight, Nashville Soccer Club will conclude its 6-match July schedule as they visit the expansion side and Western Conference leading San Diego FC for the first ever meeting between the two clubs, with first kick set at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. Nashville looking for their third straight win. Lucas Panzica and Eddie Carvacho have the call, and you can hear that match right here on 104.5 The Zone. Pregame starts at 9. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 2 getting started on your Friday morning. It is a Friday, and ladies and gentlemen of Nashville, we are planning on acting like it here on Ramon and Will. He is the 11-year NFL veteran, Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Justin Hawkins hitting all the right buttons. 615-737-1045 is our number. And in 15 minutes, VolQuest's Brent Hubbs will join us. Tennessee Fall Camp getting started next week.
Right there.
We are going to be within a month of Tennessee football by the next time we talk to Brent next week.
It is, man. That's the 30th.
We're back. That's right. So the AFC South headlines, Ramon, are interesting, and we'll start with the AFC South winners, Houston Texans. It is a who's who of players who are not playing at the moment. A group including tackle Danico Autry, wide receiver Tank Dell, of course, who suffered the incredibly gruesome and intense leg injury. Defensive tackle Folorunso Fadukasi and safety Jimmy Ward, all on the PUP list for the Texans. That's 4 players who combined for 33 starts in 2024. When you add Joe Mixon, who is on the non-football injury list, 5 starters from 2024 that totaled 47 starts are not on the field at the moment. In a Houston Texans training camp that is very young and with a lot of inexperience, especially on the offensive line. When you look at Houston, Ramon, and what they are entering the season as the front runners in this division, what interests you most? What is your biggest question mark around the Texans as they open camp?
Thinking that they've arrived already, just viewing it right now. Like, yeah, they're the king of the hill as it pertains to what they have done the last couple of years. You got to give it to them. They have. So he just got a new offensive coordinator this year. He's got a new left tackle this year. He's got new wide receivers he's got to get equipped to. And on top of these guys being on the PUP, it's early, it's training camp. I get all of that part of it too. Well, the head coach has got to manage or newly manage a lot of folks. Well, a few folks he didn't in the last couple of years as he reshifts his leadership and how he's going to go about this. It's the arrival idea to me when it comes down to the Houston Texans, because you mentioned that, and I look at the other teams in this division. Heck, I guess with Chris Ballard speaking the way he is about Anthony Richardson, they may be a little bit better than I think folks are giving him the respect at this point in the Titans, and looking at the Jags too. I would say for a team like Houston, they got a lot of names. They got a lot of bodies that have played a good amount of sports, but chasing guys off the PUP this early, and also not recognizing that your division is actively trying to get better behind you. They can mess around and slip up in a year like this, Will.
Without Joe Mixon out there, Houston has Nick Chubb and Dare Ogunbowale carrying the load with the first-team offense. On the offensive line, I think, Ramon, on paper, Houston might have the worst offensive line in the AFC South. Cam Robinson is at left tackle, made 17 appearances last season between Minnesota and Jacksonville, allowed 8 sacks, had 13 penalties. They bring in Laken Tomlinson at left guard, 6 sacks allowed for Seattle last season in 17 games. That was after allowing 7.
And Laken's been kind of pushed around the league a little bit as of late, too, since his time in, if I'm not mistaken, San Francisco.
Center Jarrett Patterson played 11 games, including the postseason last year. He is in year 3, allowed 3 sacks. A young center who is starting to develop into a solid interior lineman. The 2019 first-round pick, Titus Howard, at right guard, 6 sacks allowed last year.
I like Titus.
Most in his career, but a guy with potential. But he is playing next to a rookie at right tackle in Ariante Ursery, the second-round pick out of Minnesota. I'm just down on Houston this year, Ramon. New play caller. C.J. Stroud last season wasn't great. He was fine, but compared to the standard he set as a rookie, it was the prototypical sophomore slump for a guy who had a good rookie season. And the worst thing you can do for a guy like that is make their offensive line worse. And Houston, on paper for me, without Laramie Tunsil, their offensive line has just gotten worse.
And the other part of that, too, as far as you speak about the running back positions, CJ I don't know how this conversation with his last offensive coordinator went or why he wanted him out or how it all broke up. But here's the other part of it, too, Will. CJ Stroud's got to be right. He has to be more right this year than he ever has been in his entire career. And I know it's a short 2-year career that he's had so far, 3-year at this point. But when you make changes like offensive coordinator and you start to grab onto the playbook and how you want things to go, he's basically taking over the franchise, just more specifically the offensive side, to say, hey, I'm putting y'all on my back. And there's a lot of pressure in that. Can he deliver again the second time around with a guy that he clearly has had he had say-so on this hire? You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you ask for guys to be your dudes, and those dudes probably aren't as good as you think they are. You just like them. And that's the challenge, I think, for C.J. Stroud, Will, to that point, is he's in a position to really be really good, but I think there's more pressure on him to perform because of these changes.
In Indianapolis, ESPN.com writer Stephen Holder says that when Tyler Warren was quiet on day 1, he got more involved on day 2 at Colts camp, catching a pair of passes from Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. But Stephen Holder writes, and you're going to hear a lot about this when we talk about the Colts quarterbacks, what was notable was neither throw was accurate. And Warren snagged them anyway, displaying his strong hands. Indy has a solid cast of characters around, I think, Daniel Jones, who is their starting quarterback. I think Anthony Richardson ends up being the backup. And I think with Josh Downs, with Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce, Tyler Warren, a solid offensive line, replacing a couple of guys in the interior, Matt Goncalves coming in at guard, and, of course, Will Fries being gone. There are questions about Indy, but I feel decent, and we talked to Sam Monson about this Monday. They have a high floor, I think Indy does. I just can't take them seriously as a contender and as a real AFC South team because of who's a quarterback.
That's understandable.
I mean, honestly, like Daniel Jones, I think, is the guy. And I wanted Daniel Jones here as a bridge if the Titans were to trade back, because the Titans don't have the supporting cast that Indy does. And I think there is a world where Daniel Jones, in that timing and rhythm RPO offense, his lack of arm strength doesn't get exposed maybe as much as it would other places, because there is a lot of timing and rhythm and quick reads and RPOs in that Shane Steichen system that he'll be making. But if they go with Anthony Richardson, then Indianapolis becomes irrelevant to me. I could not be more out on Anthony Richardson, and I never have been in on him being a productive and solid NFL quarterback for a good team.
2 years with hardly any reps, any big plays for himself. The
51% completion percentage.
Thing for Anthony Richardson is I love the way the quarterback position has evolved. But, like, if you are one of those evolving quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying? Like, use the attributes that you have is what I'm saying. Like, I look at him and Joe Milton as two guys that, like, people should have to make business decisions on whether they're going to tackle you or not more often than you allow them to. I look at a guy like what Cam Newton was. You know what I'm saying? Like, why aren't we getting that? And I know Cam is different. By the way, he is lighting folks on fire on social media, too, by the way. He's actually really good at it, too, okay? He lit some dudes up, Will, and warranted it, too.
A talented trash talker?
He's a talented trash talker, dude. But what I'm saying is this. He made you feel him physically. I don't think Anthony Richardson or guys like Joe Milton are really doing that the way they should.
Well, even if he does, he's getting hurt afterwards.
Boys need to drink more milk, take vitamin D pills
when
or
you've
something,
got a shoulder problem going all the way back to a sack that Harold Landry had on him last year. Like, he's not the aggressor in a lot of those encounters with defensive players.
I know I'm throwing them to the wolves to do that type of stuff, but, like, there's an element to where you can fake somebody out, and if it's a little small DB, give him the business. Like, I ain't saying go hit Cody Barton or, you know what I'm saying, like Patrick Queen or Roquan Smith. Like,
set the tone.
Yeah, set the tone.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's subbing himself out at the end of drives, so what tone does that set?
Monotone.
Exactly. Michael Duraco, covering the Jacksonville Jaguars for ESPN.com, says that Liam Cohen gave his quarterbacks a timed 100-question quiz on the offense when they reported for camp on July 19th. Trevor Lawrence said he got 85 questions correct, which he called a B+.
Yeah.
Said that it was timed as well, so you had 12 seconds to punch in the answer. That's a little weird. Maybe I just think Liam Cohen is weird because of how oddly he said Duval when he took over the job. Yeah. But clearly he's got a method that works for him, considering the quarterbacks that he has made successful, including Will Levis at Kentucky.
I think he's got a method to his madness, though,
with Trevor
Lawrence. I look at it probably, maybe it's Trevor Lawrence is not computing the way you need him to. So you need him to be a better, quicker thinker and understanding the offense and stuff. I think, to be quite honest with you, he exposed probably the biggest issue with Trevor Lawrence. You look at the body type, the arm, and the physicality, or just his physical makeup of him, it's all there. It seems to be something in between the ears, and maybe this is what Liam Cohen is trying to expose to him. Like, bro, you don't know it all, and you're talented, but you're just not executing.
One change that they have made with Lawrence is having his left foot forward instead of his right foot forward in shotgun. Liam Cohen saying that kind of involves a little bit of a different rhythm, footwork, and I think he's done a nice job progressing that so far. So footwork, the main point of conversation for Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. Meanwhile, Travis Hunter at his first practice during 7-on-7, 11-on-11, and 1-on-1 wide receiver / DB drills, 14 all on offensive snaps for Travis Hunter. Real quick before we get to Brent Hubbs on the other side, Ian Rappaport, by the way, 3 minutes ago saying that Justin Fields could be back on the field today.
See what I'm saying? I told y'all yesterday.
Carted off yesterday with a toe injury. And Ramon didn't believe it, that it was serious, and Ramon was right.
We get the breaking news sounder across the ESPN app for Justin Fields went down with a lower body. No, it was a toe. Look at my feet.
Coming up, Brent Hubbs of VolQuest at On 3. What in the world is going on with Boo Carter? We will get the latest out of Knoxville next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Good people, nobody, and I mean absolutely no one wants to deal with the HVAC issue right now, or plumbing or electrical. Most of the time you know what's going to cost or if it'll get fixed right, or if somebody's just trying to sell you something you do not need. When you call Hiller, the experts are going to solve your problems and quick as they can, okay? And the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. And the cool thing about them is this, man. Their motto is happy you'll bill, the service is free. And that means almost every single thing that they do, they'll either fix it for you or the service is free. Also, their techs are very professional, experienced, and trustworthy. And they're all background checked and drug screened, too. When they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of that tech and a link to track them in real time. So you're not sitting around wasting time and hoping somebody shows up sooner. I'll be honest with you, more times than not, they show up earlier than expected. But here's the thing about them, too. You don't do business for over 35 years if you're not good at what you do. So to learn more about Hiller or to book with them, simply visit happyhiller.com. It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls. Good people, you can go to their website exactly as the name I just gave you, man, medicalhousecalls.com. And they make it easy to book also. You can call or text them at this number, 615-838-2375. And the reason I say you can call or text them is you can text them because some people just don't like being on the phone. They can get you set up and get you going and get you on their schedule. No, get them on your schedule. That's the convenience of what Medical House Calls does for you, man. Whether you need an IV, you've been tired, the sun is beating you down, or you've gone on Broadway and had the time of your life. Listen to me. They can get you back in the game with their IV therapy. Or if you got a little sickness coming up from fighting the flu, they can get you taken care of, man. They're nurses. They will come to your door and administer an IV to help you get better. But it's not just there. It is if you have an issue going on with the sickness, or you have to get your labs done, or an infection at your house, they will come take care of you. This is a concierge service to yourself that you can book online to fit into your schedule so that you know that you'll be at home. They'll come to you, get you taken care of, and it's by far one of the best things that you can do. The athletic recovery of it, the immune boosting blends, or you just need a hydration bag, man. They will do that for you. I trust and believe in them, man. Again, if you want to book with Medical House Calls, and I'll tell you, you need to visit medicalhousecalls.com or call or text the number 615-838-2375.
Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling.
Let me up for a spell.
You started singing it, so I was just going to let you take it, sir.
I can hang out.
Karaoke with Ramon Foster. And when you hear the old school country, the good country, it means we're joined on a Friday morning by our good friend Brent Hubbs of VolQuest and On3. Brent, good morning. How are you?
Hubbs.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, Mr. Foster. How are you?
Do I have some friends out in Knoxville that'll let me hang out for a spell?
Now, I tell you what you have, okay? My grandfather taught me, because I was a little feller growing up, head on a swivel, be observant, okay?
Yeah.
And so I'm on social media last night, and there is Ramon Foster with Sam Pendleton, one of the nicest human beings in the world, with that I swallowed the canary look on his face as Sam Pendleton took a shot at Mike Keith's size, okay? So here's what I've learned. Somebody has underestimated somebody in this relationship. And so I will now refer to you either as Sir Ramon or Mr. Foster to make sure I don't get stuffed in a garbage can in Atlanta on week 1. Because if you're taking shots, if you're setting up the nicest guy in the world to take a shot at the boss, I'm not sure what you're going to do to me in Atlanta. So, hey, man, it's your deal, Mr. Foster. I'm just along for the ride.
Stop it, Hubbs, man. Hey, listen to me. Sam felt a little bad after. He's like, that's all I had. I was like, Mike was like, no, it was good. And Mike didn't smile. I was like, okay, you should watch yourself, Sam. That's what I wanted to tell him.
Yeah. If that's what you're gonna go with, because the look on your face is like, I set this one up beautifully. Is what to look at.
I
so
did.
There you go.
It was. You were right about
seen that look on Ramon's face so many times.
A bright, yeah.
So many. Usually it happens, Brent, when he's with his brother, who joins us at 9:20 on Fridays too.
It is. And now I got Philip Noel texting me saying, "I hear you with the Ronnie Millsap."
I love it. Well, Brent, not to turn things to more of a serious topic this quickly, but Tennessee is looking for a Boo solution, not a Houston solution at the moment. This story really coming to the forefront over the last week. Boo Carter, I know a lot of the information out there. You guys have written about it in the War Room as well. And again, we remind people and encourage people to head to VolQuest.com to always get the latest every Friday morning. What is the latest on Boo Carter's status as a Tennessee Volunteer, and how up in the air, Brent, is his status when it comes to fall camp starting next week?
Well, I mean, he's still listed on the roster, so he's still part of the team. There's a path for him to be a part of the team. But obviously he has some things he has to do, and he has to make amends with some people on this team. And we'll see. Tennessee is off this weekend. Josh Heupel always gives his team a long weekend and a long break right before fall camp starts. So they're off today. And they have to be back Monday evening late for a team meeting, which is the kickoff to fall camp meeting that they have. And we'll see if Boo Carter's in that meeting, and we'll see where it goes from there. This is, I'm told there's been some at least third-party communication, if not direct communication, during this week at some point in time. I don't think Boo's been around much, if any. And so we'll see what happens at this team meeting if there's not news beforehand. To answer your question, Will, I don't know how this is going to play out. We'll see. But it's obviously not the situation anybody has been looking for or anybody wants to have happen at this point in time in the offseason. You don't want to have these lingering questions out there, but this one's certainly lingering out there.
So, Brent, how is this situation similar or different to Nico Iamaleava? Is there any kind of name, image, and likeness negotiation part of this? The one-time transfer portal kind of being open right now for designated student athletes, whatever the heck that means, from the NCAA. How is this situation similar or different to what Tennessee went through with Nico back in the spring?
Well, I think it's different because this is not a money demand. Now, obviously, Nico spent his day yesterday at Big Ten Media Day implying that it was not about money, but we all know that money was a big factor in his decision to leave. So this is not a demand for more. Boo was, got a new deal in December, and I think got everything he wanted. I don't think this is the case of that. This is just a simple case where he's just not been around the way he should. He's not been with his teammates, doing all the things that his teammates have been doing this summer, the last, couple of weeks, and it's not set well. And the question is, if you're a teammate, where's your commitment? Where are you? And you better make amends if you're going to be a part of this thing, because you can't come and go as you please in the summer. It's voluntary workouts, but Ramon, there's nothing voluntary about it.
Yeah.
And you got to be there, and he's not been there enough.
Hubbs, when you look, we're joined by Brent Hubbs this morning of VolQuest. Hubbs, when you look at him being in California, is there any correlation to anything? I saw some aggregate site putting, Nico connection. Is this just a getaway for him, essentially, with how he's left the state and gone to California?
Yeah, I don't think there's a Nico thing there. I don't think. I don't know that for sure, but I don't think that there's a Nico factor there. There could be. I never got the sense they were big buddies, that they were real close or anything like that. But I don't know why he went to California. I don't know what the point of that was. So I can't answer that question. It's a good question. I don't, but I mean, he's not going to UCLA, and he's not going to be a wide receiver. So I don't know why he would go, why the Nico thing would be a factor there to answer your question.
No doubt. Hubbs, also on the side of it, too, it's such a weird time if he could transfer out, but the football season hasn't started. Nobody's enrolled in classes for the fall, if I'm not mistaken, or you can withdraw, I would think. So is there a pathway that if he doesn't amend things inside of the facility and with his teammates, can he go play somewhere else this fall? And if he does, is this scholarship, is this pay out of pocket type of situation? There's no deal because of NIL, I guess, or at least they can receive money. So how would that look moving forward?
It's to my understanding, if he transferred out, he would have to be a walk-on somewhere, but he could not be in the SEC. Now, there's some people who some of that's interpretation of rule, not about the SEC, but about whether or not you could be a walk-on or whether you could go on scholarship. It's my understanding the best he could be would be a walk-on somewhere outside of the Southeastern Conference. He could not transfer anywhere, even as a walk-on within the SEC. There's a situation where there's a kid who transferred from Wisconsin, I think, to Miami. He's not a grad transfer. He transferred outside of the window. And it's to my understanding he's going to be a walk-on down there and play this year for Miami. That's the rule I understand, but I don't, again, some of that stuff's up for interpretation, but that's the way I understand the rule.
So in this situation, guys love to play Hubbs. Like that's the love of the game situation. And what I'm getting at is this. If there's, let's say somebody wants to be spiteful at Tennessee about this on how it's unfolded, either the leadership council or just management, it's like, you know what, you can't play for us, you're not playing for anybody. Is there rights that are to be held by the University of Tennessee or any university to not allow a player to withdraw? Like, what does the scholarship bond you? I mean, you know what I'm saying, keep you to as it pertains to you're supposed to play for us? Like the NFL, they put you on IR is what I'm getting at in these type of situations.
Yeah, well, scholarships are renewals. They're 1-year renewals, so you can't hold him hostage that way. This is not the old days where if a guy wanted to transfer, you could put a parameter on it that said he has to be so many hours away from campus and that type of deal. Like we saw what Tennessee did with what Derek Dooley did with the late Aaron Douglas when he transferred away from Tennessee after his freshman year. So there's those days are gone. The difference is the portal window is closed. So this is not a window in which he can transfer and be eligible on scholarship immediately, as I understand the rule. But he could go where he wants to go as a walk-on, and I think be eligible to play right away as long as it's outside of the SEC. But no, Tennessee can't, quote, hold him hostage, if you will, or anything like that. Those days are gone because you don't have that control anymore because of the transfer portal.
Brent Hubbs of VolQuest and On 3, our guest this morning on Ramon and Will. So, Brent, then my next question, how well prepared is Tennessee for potentially life without Boo Carter? I know they've brought in Colton Hood, the transfer from Colorado. They have Jermon McCoy recovering from an ACL injury in the offseason. Against Syracuse in week 1, where McCoy is maybe not guaranteed, maybe an understatement, to be on the field. How well positioned is Tennessee if it has to not have Boo Carter this year?
Well, I mean, some guys have to step up, and I think that's the message that has to be received is some guys have to step up. And so you have Jalen McMurray, who could play corner, he could play star. Caleb Beasley can play safety, he could play star. Colton Hood could play corner or star if you wanted him to. You play a young guy. I mean, it's next man up. It has to be the next man up mentality. Right. So, he's not. If Boo's not going to be here, it's not going to cripple you from being able to play at the standard you're wanting to play at in the secondary. Would he be? Is his talent lost? Yeah, he's talented. It's very obvious he could play. Where would they go at a punt return position would be interesting. I don't know who would go back there with that. But it's next man up. They'll play, and Tennessee has options. I mean, they're not one individual is going to hold Tennessee hostage. We saw that with Nico back in the spring. You're not going to be held hostage because the T's power is bigger than one individual, as Josh Heupel said at the orange and white game. So you just go play with the next guy, and those are some of the options Tennessee could go with.
So, Brent, how much of this can Josh Heupel adjust to moving forward? I know that this is not inherently a Tennessee issue and that no one in college athletics right now is immune from the chaos and the timeliness and the re-recruiting your own roster that is the transfer portal in 2025. But do you see a world where Tennessee makes adjustments as a program to avoid issues like this? And I'm maybe referring to having a GM, Josh Heupel changing the way he relates to his players. Like, I know I'm kind of getting around the question, Brent. It's kind of a broad question I'm asking, but where does Josh Heupel look inwardly to say, why is this happening again to me and my program, and what can I do to fix and prevent these things from happening moving forward?
I don't think you can do anything. I mean, what you hope is that your culture and your leadership is good enough and that people want to be here and they want to be a part of the program. I think the biggest thing you have to do in college athletics right now, whether you have a GM or you don't have a GM, is you got to be careful of being held hostage. And what I mean by that is that everybody's only staying because they got a new deal. That it's all about a new deal, and the only reason they're there is because of their deal, because that creates potential culture problems and stability problems. I mean, at some point in time, regardless of how much you're getting paid, you got to want to be where you're at. And I think the biggest thing you can do as a coach in your program is the experience as a player in your program is a good experience where there is a belief that you're going to go win big. There's a belief that you got to work. There's a standard and an expectation of what it is to be a part of your program. And if a guy doesn't want to be a part of the program, you can't just let him leverage you all the time. And again, I don't think this Boo situation now is about leverage. I don't think this is him coming back 2 weeks before the start or a week before the start of camp saying, I need more. I don't think that's the case at all here. But in some cases with guys, that's what we see every December.
Right.
And you got to make decisions. Like, I'm not gonna get treated that way. We're not gonna do that in the program. And it's a hard balance. I mean, it is, because you've got to have the best talent to win, particularly in this league. And that's why Josh Heupel makes $9 million a year. And,
right.
I'm going to be bringing Ramon coffee and doing whatever I'm doing on the weekends with Ramon, because he has to make really hard decisions.
Right.
And this is a hard decision. I mean, you're sitting here. What's important for the team? Where is the team if you allow a return for a guy who's not been around a whole lot? If you allow him to come back, what's his punishment? Do you set him for a period of time? What do you do? How do you manage that? Mm-hmm. Coaches think they can obviously fix everybody, right? Particularly the ones who have great talent, who are really talented. They have a hard time letting guys go. And that's the case at all levels, right? There's owners in the NFL that give guys multiple chances sometimes because the guy can play. And so if you're Josh Heupel, you have to decide at what point is enough that it's a detriment that I continue to try to help him and get him on this team, to do what we need to do. And then you got to figure out, like, all right, say you let him come back. Where's his commitment level? Is he with you for the whole season? Is he with you till you lose a game and then he checks out on you? All of those things have to run through Josh Heupel's mind when he talks to his coaches, when he talks to people he trusts for advice, when he talks to his leadership council, when he talks to his football team. You got to take all of that stuff into account when you make decisions about how this is going to go. Now, Boo may make the decision for you because he might not show up for the meeting on Monday night. Then you know. But if he does show up, then how do you handle it from there? And again, that's why Josh Heupel's making a lot of money and the rest of us are talking about his decisions and not making near as much money.
It's well put.
It is. Hubbs, it feels like the stuff that we should and need to talk about is like off the record stuff, but I just want to ask this question though too, without going too deep. Like, it seems to me that this team is probably just not going to have this be the case either. It's tough when you have teammates not show up for workouts. It's tough when you have teammates that's not committed. And it's still even worse, I guess, also is I look at a guy like him who's from the state that had an opportunity to leave in December or April, chose to stay, and then you lose that commitment of his grind to the team. I can imagine how that leadership council or just the guys that's been grinding with him feel about it. I feel like that's probably the biggest hurdle of his all, is looking his teammates in the face, Josh Joseph or Miles Kitzman or Deshaun Brain. Like, there's a lot of that I feel like has to be hashed out.
Well, there's no doubt. Because here's the thing. Guys have had issues for years on football teams. Pre-NIL, post-NIL, guys have gotten in trouble. They've done something wrong. And, those guys have oftentimes been forgiven, particularly if they're a really good player, because guys know who can play, right, and who you need on your team. This one's different because if you quit on your teammates, it leaves a total different impression. This is not about a guy had a run-in situation or he's fighting through something academically or something that didn't directly affect the team in that incident or in that moment. This directly affects the team because the guy didn't show up. The guy hadn't been around enough. And so when you have that, that's the hard part that you have to fix. And that's where Josh Heupel has to make critical decisions, because you cannot lose your football team over this. And I'm not saying he would or he wouldn't. I'm not in the meetings. I haven't talked to Miles Kitzelman and those guys gave great quotes about Boo at SEC Media Day. Okay, and I think there were issues then. So, it's not like everybody's just completely turned. It doesn't sound like, or at least publicly they haven't sounded that way. But Josh Heupel has to, if you're going to live by the code that no one is bigger than the T, you also have the code that no one's bigger than the team. And you better make sure that your team is locked in and ready to go, because no offense to Boo Carter or anybody else that would put themselves in this situation, you're not going to be the total difference in winning and losing a bunch of ball games.
Right.
Can you be a factor? Absolutely you can be a factor because you're a good player. But you're not good enough to just come and go as you please. You're not that important. Nobody was. Nobody should ever be. I don't care if you're a Hall of Famer. All these guys out there, they show up. The great players show up. And they work with their teammates. And if they don't, then they have to work really hard to fix that with their teammates. And if Boo's back, that'll be his biggest challenge, in my opinion.
He is Brent Hubbs of VolQuest and On3, joining us every single Friday at this time. Next week, the Tennessee quarterback competition gets started. Fall camp gets started. We are very excited, and we'll be 1 month away from Ramon and Brent and Mike K. from Franklin being on the air together on the Vol Network. Great stuff as always, Brent. Appreciate you. Looking forward to breaking down camp with you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Will. Appreciate you, sir, Ramon. Have a great day, sir.
I'm buying you a nice steak dinner when I see you next time, okay? We got to mend our relationship, man. Sir, I can't believe Hubbs right now.
I love it. Brent Hubbs of VolQuest with us this morning. Good stuff. Brent Hubbs, as always, presented to you by our friends at Ascend Federal Credit Union, your financial partner for every stage of life. Coming up, North Carolina to the SEC. They have strong interest. I have strong interest in owning an Italian sports car. We'll talk about that next.
At Genesis, diamonds is just not just in the name. Diamonds are in their DNA. They dream about diamonds. They obsess about diamonds. Diamonds are their life, okay? They go to the ends of the earth to get the best diamonds too, man. They look at probably 100 colors and pick just a few of them to bring back to the showroom. They make sure that every diamond has a certain sparkle and brilliance. They have every diamond graded by the world's most prestigious gem labs. They look way beyond the 4 C's too. To guarantee is not just acceptable, it's extraordinary. The experts at Genesis are passionate about diamonds, and they will show you all the inside tips and tricks on how to maximize your value. You're not going to get this level of quality or expertise at any other store, certainly not at one of those big corporate chains. Genesis is your source for hand-picked GIA-certified diamonds at the guaranteed best price. They'll have ovals, rounds, princess cuts, emerald cuts, heart shapes, pear-shaped cushion cups from a half a carat to 20 carats if you want to. And to properly showcase these exquisite diamonds, Genesis has the designer settings that other stores can't get. All the big-name bridal designers have handpicked Genesis as their trusted partner. It's a no-brainer. Genesis is the source here for a ring you can be proud of, whether you're getting married or have been together for decades. Genesis Diamonds with no compromises. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee. A locally owned Scooters is near you. In Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Alongside Ramon Foster, I'm Will Bowling. Hit the Ramona Will podcast wherever you download podcasts. That is where you get all of our training camp discussions, all of our college football, all of our Vols insiders giving us info like Brent Hubbs just did a few minutes ago on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps us greatly if you subscribe, and it helps you as well because you never miss a conversation wherever you download podcasts. Ramon, there was a report yesterday from Inside Carolina that North Carolina could be exploring a move away from the ACC to the SEC, quote, perhaps in the near future. UNC reportedly among several schools, quote, interested in seeking a potential departure from the ACC whenever the next round of collegiate realignment happens, sources told Inside Carolina's Adam Smith. UNC, quote, could even be considered at the front of that pack alongside Clemson. Inside Carolina sources reportedly named the SEC as the conference the Tar Heels are aiming to land should it ultimately exit the ACC. The ACC's exit fees drop from $93 million from 2029 to 2030 to a flat $75 million, just couch change, beginning with the 2030 to 2031 academic year, which, quote, would figure to become an important final line of demarcation if the Tar Heels haven't made their departure from the ACC sooner. What do you make of UNC trying to publicly flirt with the SEC?
Hey, I like that. I think I said this about a couple of years ago. I don't think it's a bad thing for them to want to come over to North Carolina now. They got to bring their cousins with them, though. That's Duke, and that's Florida State, and that's Miami also.
Duke? I'm good on Duke.
I know you are, but I like the idea of them being in the SEC. I'll be quite honest. It kills the ACC. It 100% kills the ACC. Yeah. But I like that plan. Yeah. We need a little hate. We all hate Vandy and Kentucky and everybody else.
Well, sure, it's just that Duke doesn't offer anything in football. They do in basketball.
They get more.
But Duke doesn't offer much in football.
We've had this conversation. They do football over the last 10 years better than Vanderbilt has.
Well, we didn't.
I know their first cousins.
Yeah,
Vandy's first cousins.
But what kind of standard is that? Just being better than Vandy.
If you get the baseball and the basketball, you cook.
I think Duke with Vandy's schedule every year would look a lot like Vandy over the last 10, 15 years.
Conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that ain't no trashing on Vandy, but
it's just the reality. A good academic institution.
There we go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I want to give a reminder to people that I've given quite a bit when these things tend to circulate. When the SEC is getting ready to add a team, you hear about it when it is at the finish line.
Okay.
And when teams are publicly negotiating to join the Southeastern Conference, it means they want leverage. That's all this is.
Yeah.
I do not think there is anything tangible to Greg Sankey and the SEC actually wanting North Carolina. I think this is North Carolina floating something out there to put A, pressure on their own conference, and B, pressure on FSU and Clemson, who have kind of been at the forefront of the grant of rights and the exit fees, and they get that settlement last year against the Atlantic Coast Conference and all of these things. I think it is UNC trying to just raise their hand. Hey, don't forget about us. Don't forget about us. Hey, if anybody was going to throw a party, we'd show up. Doesn't mean they're throwing the party. Doesn't mean they got an invite. They just want an invite to future parties if hypothetically there was a house party or a kickback thrown. That doesn't mean that anybody's actually going to throw one. It just means that they would like to publicly be in the court of public opinion saying, oh, we put our name out there. Yeah. We're in the running. No, you're not.
That's
Greg Sankey and the SEC aren't looking to expand right now.
If they're not, to be quite honest, if that door was open and there was an invite, I'd throw that invite out to North Carolina.
Yeah, I think North Carolina is a cultural fit. I think Virginia Tech is a slam dunk cultural fit.
You take Tech and what about, so where are you at on Miami and
If
and
I'm
Florida?
picking 4 teams, I would go Virginia Tech, Clemson, Miami, FSU. North Carolina is not one of my top 4 ACC teams that I would want if I'm the SEC.
I got you. I can understand that. My 4 would probably be Miami, Florida State, Clemson.
Either UNC or Vatech at that point.
Yeah,
if you're just taking 4.
splitting hairs.
But again, why stop at 4? Well, I mean, we can't have at this point. Might as well just split the country in half, and half of you's Big Ten, half of you's SEC, and of the schools that matter in college sports now. Because let's not forget, because of Greg Sankey and the SEC going after Texas and Oklahoma, there are more schools that don't matter in the grand scheme of actually having a seat at the table in college athletics. And it don't matter. Like, they matter to their fan bases. They matter to a lot of people around the country, because college sports is more than just about who is in the mix for the playoff. So, again, that is true. But in terms of teams that have an actual seat at the table and a chance to win the national title, there are less now because of conference realignment.
Yes, I'll give you that. But you can't have North Carolina without Duke. That's the other part of
Why
the
not?
SEC.
But you have Oregon in Oregon State split up.
Well, they really.
You had Texas A&M and Texas split up.
I guess the rivalry stays. It's just the conference alignment of it, I guess. I'm just looking at it and just saying, one goes with the others, the way I've always looked at it.
It's the way it's supposed to be, but not in today's world.
Not anymore. I mean, you talking about splitting down the country, though. The Big Ten's got to switch up then. Oregon can no longer be in the Big Ten if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? Like if we did go down the middle of the Mississippi. Right. It's weird how it's all broken up now.
I don't know. It doesn't have to be regional.
No.
It'd be like the AFC and NFC.
Yeah.
The AFC and NFC aren't regional, but you could have regional pods within two conferences. Literally, you would be turning SEC and Big Ten into AFC and NFC.
Yeah. There's a lot more change that's going to happen in college football is what this conversation is showing me.
Oh, yeah.
There's a ton more movement that's going to happen.
Dustin says, didn't Sankey say they are leaving the NCAA in 2027? No, they did not.
Yeah,
they did not. Let's shut that down before that gets any traction. They said, Greg Sankey's words, I'm paraphrasing, but the gist of what he said was, I have people in my rooms asking me why it wouldn't be better for us to just leave the NCAA. They are in no way advocating for leaving the NCAA.
Yeah.
There's plenty of cash as well into the NCAA basketball tournament that would encourage you to stay in the NCAA.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And there are just more sports, too. There are more sports outside of football, and I know they don't make the money, but there are a ton of athletes that would just be out of a job, potentially, if you just left the NCAA. The NCAA didn't have the ability to sponsor different sports.
Yeah. I was trying to find this quote or whatever. So I don't have the authority to just depart the NCAA.
Correct.
Yeah, that's also.
They're not leaving the NCAA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe one day, but we're talking a long-term conversation, not something short-term.
If the ACC is smart also, they got to get on the offensive, the conference also in itself. Like,
with who?
I'm just saying in general, like
Who's
this
left
is where I'm at.
That's valuable.
But like at this point, like it's a dying breed. They're on life support if they're having these public conversations right 100%. Now. Like they gotta do something as a conference. Like you find yourself in a Pac-12 situation and out.
But what is there to do? I mean, there's not major significant value to add.
That's nuts. I mean, at this point, you're right. There's two teams from they're being. They have no leverage. We're talking about two teams coming out for the college football playoffs. That sucks.
And then a settlement last year, their exit fees were decreased. It is cheaper than it used to be. Like the exit fees went from $165 million this year to $147 next year. Then it goes to $129 million to exit the ACC after that. Then $111. Then it goes under $100 million to just leave the ACC in 2029.
Like there's no, like the school that I went to, University of Tennessee, is still there, the entity of it, right? But I will say, if you're one of these players that played at Clemson or North Carolina or Virginia Tech and hear the threats of your conference dying out, like there's a sense of pride and conference dominance. There's a sense of pride and conference when you beat another conference. Like to see the Pac-12 wiped out, I'm saying all that to say this. I'm lucky I went to an SEC school to be on the right side of like whether we're bullying everybody else. Like I can imagine what Reggie Bush looked like. His stats are now Big Ten stats.
Yeah.
The hell?
I mean, he's a Big Ten legend, Reggie Bush.
That's what I'm saying.
SEC legend, Vince Young.
We're cocky. We're cocky as heck.
It was like when during the Olympics, the ACC tweeted out when Katie Ledecky won a gold medal, like ACC champions are made here. Katie Ledecky, like, oh no, don't do that, don't do that. Katie Ledecky belongs to the Pac-12 and the Pac-12 only.
That's it.
Yeah. Doesn't mean anybody wanted to watch it though on the Pac-12 network, which is why we're at this point.
Is that our poll too for today? I see Jim put that in there. Do two separate options with the first three. We both say it. And Miami or VTech, see what wins. I mean, North Carolina and Virginia Tech.
Honestly, I think it's so far from being a reality that
we're closer than we ever have.
It's a pointless conversation.
It's nuts if that's the case. North Carolina out here trying to be courted. Couldn't be my school.
Trying to say, so is somebody going to ask me to prom? That's North Carolina.
That is.
Honestly, what this really is the Jordan Hudson effect. Bill Belichick's girlfriend added so much value. They said, you know what, we should go to break. Jordan Hudson said, you know what, I want to be an SEC girl. I don't want to be an ACC girl.
She already got the drip on.
Please don't sue me. 615-737-1045, the number. A messy situation in Vegas. Well, that happens a lot. This one's with the Raiders. We'll talk about it next.
It is 8:01. Good Friday morning. Live from the 104.5 The Zone studios, I'm Justin Hawkins. Tennessee Titans training camp day 2 in the books at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. Titans linebacker Cody Barton spoke to the media after practice yesterday and talked about Cam Ward wanting to learn from his mistakes, especially after throwing interceptions.
I mean, you can tell he's eager to learn and he handles it in a very professional way. And, he's humble about it too. And he just wants to learn and just trying to find an advantage any way he can. So, someone that can, even as a rookie, come up and just be like, what were we seeing here? How did you pick me off? It shows maturity out of him, and I like that because I'm trying to get him better, he's trying to get me better, and just we'll grow not just as me and him, but as a whole team.
The Titans are back at practice tomorrow at Nissan Stadium for the NFL's Back Together weekend. The event is free for fans to attend. In other NFL news, one day after suffering a dislocated toe on his right foot and being carted off the field during practice, New York Jets quarterback Justin Fields is back in uniform and back at practice. Tonight, Nashville Soccer Club will conclude its 6-match July schedule as they visit the expansion side and Western Conference leading San Diego FC for the first ever meeting between the clubs. First kick is set for 9:30 p.m. Central Time. Nashville, they're looking for the third straight victory. Lucas Panzigi and Eddie Carvacho have the call, and you can hear that match right here on 104.5 The Zone. Pregame starts at 9 p.m. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, into the second half of the program. On a Friday morning in beautiful Music City, USA. A gorgeous morning in Nashville. And, of course, any morning when you wake up in Nashville is a beautiful one. Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins, and Will Bowling, 615-737-1045 is our number. I've got a bone to pick with the people of this building coming up in just a minute. We left for 2 days, and something has just gone to crap. It's not good. Going to get to that in just a minute. But first, Ramon, wanted to get to the big headline of the morning. The Raiders are releasing defensive tackle Christian Wilkins, a big surprise. Yesterday, courtesy of Adam Schefter of ESPN.com, due to how Wilkins treated the rehab from his foot injury he suffered last season. The Raiders voided the remaining $35.2 million of guaranteed money left on Wilkins' contract last month, and today he has filed a grievance with the NFLPA, who again is missing a lot of leadership at the moment with the resignations of J.C. Tretter and Lloyd Howell. In 5 games last season, before his season-ending foot injury, Wilkins had 2 sacks in 5 games. He had 9 sacks as an interior defensive lineman in 2023 with the Miami Dolphins. What was your initial reaction to this, and how solid of a case do you think he will have to get some of that guaranteed money back? Because that is $35 million, big ones, that have essentially just been taken away from him by the franchise that was employing him.
Excuse me. They'll probably have to settle for something because there will be a fight to be had, and it'll be long and ongoing. What sucks for him, Christian Wilkinson, is he's got social media posts of him dancing on the foot and doing stuff I guess he probably shouldn't have been doing at the time. Like, there's posting on social media is going to be the death of a lot of people, and how you take away from folks that have cases against them. And I'll say this, for it to be Pete Carroll's team and they choose not to deal with him, like, I think that shows a little bit of immaturity also with that one, because this type of stuff doesn't happen. He's a very young, talented player, and he's truly not professional enough to handle it. Like, it's immaturity for him. I think Vegas is building up that program the way that you want to, and he was supposed to be a huge part of it. It's immature is what I would say on just the surface level of it, Will. His fight probably end up turning into a settlement. I don't know if he gets the full $35.2 million that's left on that. That's a boatload of cash for a defensive tackle in this league, man. That sucks for him and his family.
Yeah, it's a lot of money for a franchise to just say, oh, never mind, that's ours now. Yeah. And there will be a very big legal fight to recuperate some of those losses. Wilkins, a guy who was tied to a lot of good teams when he was available last offseason. Obviously a tie to go back to Miami, where he began his career. The Houston Texans were a team that were in on him originally. Vegas ultimately winning his services. Probably a long shot, but Reggie McKenzie is here. Reggie McKenzie with ties to the Raiders. He was signed there last year while Reggie was also in Miami. Yeah. Again, Dolphins connection between Reggie McKenzie and Christian Wilkins, who was employing him just a couple of years ago. You think the Titans kick the tires here at all?
It would help big time. But again, it's a matter of money and how long can you get him re-signed. I feel like you look at his situation is he's going to have options at this point too. And can you get him to buy into the belief that you can be part of a rebuild here? You talking about Jeff, Tavondre, and Christian Wilkins? Like that's how you build a foundation.
That becomes the best front three in the NFL.
Honestly. Let's right here in the AFC South easily. You change teams' game plans if you add a guy like him. If you have the right people around him to help him mature, because it seems to be what the case is in this particular situation, because every pro should handle their business appropriately. Clearly his rehab didn't go the way they thought it would, and that screams maturity. I don't know if Reggie McKenzie is the guy to rein him in, to have him, get on track here, but what I would say, the foundation that they're trying to build here, if you are Chad Brinker or Mike Berganzi, yeah, I am. If you can get the right pieces around him to get him to grow up. And to be quite honest with you too, Will, he can come to a division, man, that can be very advantageous for the rest of his career with the lines that he's got to play against right now.
Yep.
100% I'm kicking the tires on him now.
Yeah, it's at least worth a phone call. I think if anybody would know how healthy Christian Wilkins is and if he is really someone that is attacking rehab and putting his best foot forward, no pun intended, to get healthy or not, it would be Reggie McKenzie, who is in Miami as a senior personnel executive for the Dolphins from 2019 through 2024. The question becomes, is Christian Wilkins interested in coming here in a rebuild? I don't know, though.
Well,
it would surprise me.
He went to Clemson, correct?
Yes.
I don't know where he is. I should have looked that up, where he's from. But maybe he wanted to be closer to home. Heck, who knows? This is the second time, though, too.
Springfield, Massachusetts.
Oh, he's from Massachusetts?
Mm-hmm. 29 years old.
Want to go play for Vrabel? No, that's just me.
He might. He absolutely might. Him and Milton Williams together up there.
Boy.
Be pretty good.
This is the second time the Raiders has had a situation like this with Antonio Brown, now him. And with the feet.
It is interesting, though. Suddenly, Rex Ryan's entered the chat. It is interesting, though, Ramon, from a philosophical standpoint. Are the Titans one of the teams in the NFL who are well-positioned to take a chance on an injured player that might not immediately contribute?
Are they?
Because I feel like they are.
I think they are.
I feel like the Titans, if anyone, are in the position to let someone have time to get right and get healthy.
Yes.
Considering this feels like a project that is just beginning. I don't know. Maybe you can buy low and have value for the future. Again, Christian Wilkins has got to also want to come here now because this is not a trade situation. He is available and out there just to be picked up. But interesting to me. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
The issue that the Titans have is with a guy like him that can be a game wrecker for you, that has good play in him. I don't know what the ankle issue is and how long it's going to take. But their issue is, what are the Titans selling? Right? I think that's the biggest pitch. Like, that's the biggest issue that they have is, are you selling you can be part of this reset in about a year or two? You're a foundational piece that we go win and win big with. Is that side of it for me? Is it, hey, we're going to allow you to rehab and get yourself together. And we're also going to pay you and make you feel comfortable. And also look at the players around you. You got Jeff, Tavondre, and a bunch of other players that can help assist you in your pathway. You're not just the main guy. And to be quite honest with you, if I'm Jeffrey Simmons and we're talking about this, I'm calling Christian. I need you. Come over here and do work with me. If Jeff wants to be the pass rusher, that's the perfect Batman. I don't even want to call Christian Wilkins a Robin, but that's the perfect partner for Jeff to be able to go do that thing. Because I view Christian Wilkins as a guy as a 3 to 5 sack guy. But he's going to be a game wrecker up the middle is the way I view him. He's a disruptor also, but in a different way. I've played against him before. He's a side-to-side guy, man, craftsman. He honestly reminds me of like as if he's watched Chris Jones play football. They're not just going to have him stand in front of you. Yeah, most definitely. He's a move type of guy, but he's a disruptor in the run game, too, the way I viewed him.
A Vegas reporter for KTNV, Nick Walters, put out yesterday that Christian Wilkins was last on the field May 22nd at OTAs, writing he would no longer be present at practice amid a dispute with the team over whether or not to get surgery after a setback in his recovery from a Jones fracture suffered last season. Now he is no longer a Raider. Interesting. Houston, again, was interested last time around. And you do not want him going to Houston with that front and D'Amico Ryans.
That's problematic, Will.
Extremely problematic. You know what else is problematic, Ramon?
I'm listening.
The people in this building need to find God.
What happened, Will?
The little thing that you put under a coffee pot where the grounds go in is just nowhere to be found in this entire building. Yeah. We leave for 2 days. Dang it. I am the one who makes a lot of pots of coffee in this building. I don't know if it's new people across the hall at 103.3 Country. I don't know if we need to get on our friends at 92Q. Yeah. I don't know if this is a WTN issue. Well, I am appalled. I am shocked. And I am absolutely abhorrent. $5 words because I'm caffeinated and I'm not as caffeinated as I should be on edge right now. Y'all are paying for my Tylenol when I have a caffeine headache later because I am a caffeine addict and I'm going to start fiending for a cup of black coffee here in a minute. What in the world are we doing?
Who steals the brew cup, man?
Who takes the brew thing where you put into the coffee machine? Yeah. I looked in the washing machine, nothing. Yeah. I looked in the sink. I looked at every drawer, every cabinet. We need to have an inquest. We need to have a dialogue. Yeah. We need Sherlock Holmes here to find the freaking coffee thing. Vandy Man says, I thought y'all have Scooters. Yes, we have Scooters coffee. We can't make it because we're trying to brew it. We can't make the coffee. There is not a thing that you put in like the top of a coffee machine that holds the grounds that you put the filter in. Nowhere to be found. This is grounds for a firing is what that is. It is coffee grounds for a firing. Somebody needs to lose. I'm not going to go that far. Somebody needs to be scolded. Someone needs to be suspended for this.
Oh, it's more than
just a demerit. Dang it!
I've had no coffee this morning either, Will, and I'm feeling it. What a time we live in.
Commenter on YouTube says, check the trash. Oh, goodness. What I'm going to do is go downstairs and take the downstairs people's coffee. Yeah. They make better coffee anyway.
Listen, I'm with you on this one, though. This one sucks. Like, we can't even have a decent cup of coffee from
3HL's been here in the afternoons. We need to ask 3HL if they've seen anything. We need to ask Ron Slay if he's seen anything when he comes in an hour.
He the most innocent person in this situation.
That's disappointing,
too.
He the most
innocent person.
That's disappointing, too.
Let's keep
Blaine and Zach.
Stay focused.
We're looking at you guys. 3HL, Brent Doherty. Brent Doherty loves himself a cup of coffee in the afternoon. Loves himself a cup of coffee in the afternoon. Brent?
Who do we need? Who do we need to talk to? Like, legitimately, like that is flagrant.
I'm talking.
Now you got me going.
I'm talking to our downstairs management
because we're the morning crew. And we always say we get the short end of the stick. If something's wrong, we're the first ones to deal with it and fix it for everybody throughout the daytime. All we ask for is the cup. The groundskeeper is what we're looking for.
The groundskeeper.
The groundskeeper is what we're looking for. Okay. I even tried to bring a coffee pot in the studio. They said we couldn't do that. Well, now look.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Is it just me or have these tables turned?
They've turned.
How are the turntables?
I'm a little bit upset. I'm more upset now because we're gonna go find it at some point. And then everybody else is going to benefit off our backs, Will.
Justin, we just got a call. Was this someone yelling at us to get back to sports, or is this someone actually trying to be productive?
No, he's got a theory.
Oh, what's the theory?
The theory is that a Titans rookie stole the filter container thingy and threw it in the trash, so we would never have coffee. So blame the rookie.
Who?
See, he'd be good if he'd have said somebody stole it.
Didn't say.
The way Cody...
Maybe call back and tell me exactly which rookie so we can...
Why would a Titans rookie be here?
I don't know, but we need to give somebody a demerit.
He could have said he stole it just like Cody Barton stole Cam Ward's football.
What a great transition.
He would have been able to do that.
That's a great Big J journalist, sports entertainer job by you.
Should we go steal it from downstairs? Make them feel what we feel? You know I'm ratchet like that. I'll do that.
That might be do it.
That might be do it.
615-737-1045, our number. How Cody Barton stole a football from Cam Ward like someone has taken the brew cup to put in coffee grounds at Cumulus Nashville. Next. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, hour number 3 on this Friday morning. And we are getting to the bottom of Coffeegate 2025.
Yeah,
Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, our producer. So we have found the brew cup thing. Oh, we got to figure out an actual name for this. The place where the coffee grounds go was downstairs. And we were told that someone doesn't know how to use a coffee pot in this building. And so a coffee pot exploded. And coffee privileges have been taken away from us.
That's insane. That is. I'm legitimately about to get ticked off because there's a lot. I won't say a lot on air, but legitimately, I do feel like we get screwed over early mornings all the time, and we have a situation right now to where we get up early to do this, and there are certain stuff that you just expect.
You need caffeine to do the morning show.
And that is one of those things. And it's stop being nice about it.
Well, if we had a coffee machine, we would be fueled by Scooter's Coffee this morning.
Is that part of it for me too? So you know.
Locally owned near you. If anyone wants to bring us Scooter's Coffee, they are locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. We leave for 2 days, and somebody in this building doesn't know how to take the coffee pot off the burner when it is on, not knowing that these things shatter, and not like there's a sign on it literally that says that the coffee pot will shatter if you leave the heat on. Nope. 2 days without Ramon and Will in studio. This is what happens. And
also, this isn't a Scooter's issue.
No.
Everybody,
we have our Scooter's Coffee.
Scooter's is fine.
I think there is a Keurig downstairs that we can use. We've got some K-Cups.
But there's upstairs. They also have a coffee pot down there.
Yeah, the way
and we have one.
We don't have time to go all the way downstairs and come back up and make a Keurig cup of coffee. Oh, okay. Well, how can we make this transition? The Titans defense turned off the Titans quarterback machine. Yes, that didn't work. Cody Barton yesterday had an interception of Cam Ward. I've got Ramon ticked off now.
Dude, because this is childish.
I know. I'm on your side. I get it. This started as me being ticked off about this. Then I realized why we lost coffee privileges. Confiscated from us.
Okay. All right. Keep playing around here, Cumulus.
Anyway, Cody Barton yesterday intercepted Cam Ward on the first throw of 7-on-7 in team periods. We talked about this earlier this morning, Ramon. I want to get into a discussion on how practice is different from games. Because in practice, you are seeing the same things over and over. Cody Barton told a scrum of reporters yesterday post-practice why he intercepted Cam Ward. Teron Davenport of ESPN.com, best of the best, cover the Titans and doing this job, tweeted out this video of Cody in this interview talking about why he intercepted Cam Ward. I think there's something here I want to react more to. This is Titans inside linebacker Cody Barton after practice yesterday via Teron Davenport.
I mean, you can tell he's eager to learn, and he handles it in a very professional way. And sorry, I'm sweating bad. It's humid out here. He's just, he's humble about it too, and he wants to learn and just trying to find an advantage any way he can. So, someone that can even as a rookie, come up and just be like, "Yo, what were you seeing here? How did you pick me off?" It shows maturity out of him, and I like that because I'm trying to get him better, he's trying to get me better, and just we'll grow not just as me and him, but as a whole team.
What did you see on the interception today?
I seen the same play yesterday, and I knew he wanted it, and so I was supposed to stop, but I just kept going. And I think he thought I was going to stop too, but I seen it yesterday. He wanted to throw it, but that was all. I was
when you get
So that's Cody Barton yesterday, Ramon, saying he saw the play yesterday and made an adjustment today. My question to you, talking about this yesterday, you told me you would give me your answer on air. How applicable is this to games where in practice, your defense sees you a lot? They scout you a lot. Cody Barton probably did something and freelanced a little bit the way he wasn't supposed to in order to intercept Cam Ward's pass yesterday. What was your reaction to hearing him say that, and how applicable is this lesson for Cam Ward, if at all, to what he's going to see in game settings this season as a rookie?
Instincts through the roof. First thing I tell young guys in training camp is this. The best way to earn the job on this team is to know and watch and scout your own teammates first. You learn how to break down your own teammates and what they're doing to you each and every day, then you become a better film watcher. You get a better understanding of how to break down the people that you're going against, because this is a competition. That is offense versus defense. That is linebacker versus quarterback. This is wide receiver versus DB. If I can't break you down, then what worth am I if I can't to another team that's going to do the exact same thing for me? This NFL and NBA and NHL and MLB world that we live in is all about film and scouting. If I don't take advantage of what you show me on tape, I'm an idiot and I deserve to be fired. The way you watch and break down tape is how you keep a job. When we speak about guys doing the right things, or that guy just had, man, he's got crazy instinct. He may, but I'm going to be quite honest with you. The guy watched probably tons of tape. He watched film. I've seen guys like Troy Polamalu get to the facility at 5:30 in the morning to sit down with the clicker and watch tape all day long, because this sport is such a 1% of sport that is good versus good so much that the details on how you expose yourself, Cam Ward, is how you got to, it's the first thing you need to do to minimize it. Cody saying he saw that play, Will, that is no indictment. Cody saw the script. That ain't no indictment on Cody, man. It was guessing, or Cody, hey, you took advantage of what you knew what was going to happen. I would say this is rookie. He's showing his rookie, I guess, his rookie inexperience by doing what he thought he could get away with again.
In back-to-back days.
That is the separator of those who do and those who don't in this league, Will. Like that, when we spoke yesterday about Cam staying on script and doing what you need him to, that was the moment right there in which Cam needed to go, oh, no, absolutely not.
And that's exactly why yesterday, Ramon, we talked about how doing less and just being fine is still a success for a rookie quarterback. Because when you have bread and butter, and when you have things that you know, or you think you know, that you can get away with against a defense, the NFL and NFL defenses are going to push those boundaries and test that more so than college players will. And that may seem obvious. That may seem like a simple observation. But I think it's an important step in Cam Ward's maturation to understand this is a rookie moment for me. I've got to change up the way I attack a defense. And if I get one over on a vet one day, I can't expect to get one over on him the same way the next day.
I wish you would try it twice. Like that's what Cody basically told him. You got me yesterday. And I know because like you're young and he took advantage of him that you're going to try to do this thing again. Sir, I'm not 18 years old. Sir, I'm not in college. Sir, I am a 7-year pro at this point. I can't allow you, because my job is dependent upon me outsmarting you in these moments and making the margin of error, right? It's basically what Cody showed him yesterday with him picking him off. Like, bro, this isn't college anymore. If there was ever for Cam Ward, and then maybe he's had one before now, a welcome to the NFL moment, it was Cody Barton picking him off and pretty much letting all of us in the media know, yeah, he was young and dumb right there.
So is it fair to say, Ramon, that in the NFL, teams are scouting their teammates more in practice than in college?
Yes.
Is there more self-development in college than there is maybe in the NFL, where there's not only self-development, but, hey, I've got time to look at what they got me on in practice yesterday and make some adjustments to it?
100%.
You just got more time at the facility. You're not confined to a mandatory amount of time that you can spend together.
Yep. And then, like you said, to your point, like there's an immense amount of tape that is watched. Like I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna watch this drill again today, and then they move on to their new install. Yeah. To your point, you learn to defeat bodies more than you do yourself in these type of moments. Like, yeah, I'm getting better and everything else, but if you beat me on a swim move or something, it's within my power. Everything in my power is going to be to stop that the next time around. You don't have to give me a new move. That's what coaches always tell guys. Give me a new problem to worry about. So for Cam Ward this next time around with this similar scheme, coaches are probably going to be looking and viewing at him as like, you got last time, Cam. What are you going to do this time? And not only just that, but Cody, You can't continue to do the same old things again. Is there another move that you're trying to counter Cam with? It is such a beautiful process, and I continue to say this type of stuff as it pertains to how this is such a mono versus mono type of situation where you are in a position to really capitalize and make a splash. More than anything, you know what Cody Barton did yesterday for us? He made that splash, got us talking about his coverage skills. He just, to be quite honest with you, without minimizing it, he outsmarted the rookie, which is what he's supposed to do, which is why I said also these joint practices are probably the biggest challenge that Cam Ward is going to have, especially from day one to day two. Then I feel like he's going to have in the preseason games because it's that. I can immediately go back and correct it.
Sure.
So imagine this even being the case too. If Cam comes out and have a 350-yard game, 2 touchdowns, I'm going to take the under the next week.
Yeah, and just understand that maybe what worked the week before is not going to work a second straight week.
That's why it's such a build-up from one year to the next, too. You know, like I give the whole 3-year thing. Year one, you're allowed to put all your tape out there and see it. And then you adjust in year two. Teams do. Right. And then you become a better person. Like, we're witnessing this in 2 days of practice with Cody versus Cam.
Well, it's interesting, too, and the way the league has changed, because there was an era there, Ramon, where mobile quarterbacks would have great rookie seasons, and then teams would always adjust. And the narrative in the NFL 10 years ago was, oh, you can't be a mobile quarterback and win consistently in this league. You've got to be a pocket passer.
Right.
You can't, like, Michael Vick started off his career hot.
Yeah.
Teams started to adjust. Vince Young started off his career hot. Once you get into the cerebral part of, well, now how could I outsmart the way defenses are adjusting to me?
Now you cooking, Will.
Some guys can swim in that deep end. Other ones can just splash around in the shallow end. Robert Griffin III. We're only talking about the player. We're not talking about the corny guy on Twitter. Robert Griffin III, as a rookie, again, crushed it. Defenses would adjust. Well, now we are entering an era of the NFL where offenses have evolved with the quarterbacks that they are allowed to select, to where mobile quarterbacks, it's less of like, oh, there's only a matter of time until defenses adjust. However, I think some of that, Ramon, is because mobile quarterbacks being more in vogue. And Cam Ward is a mobile quarterback. Cam Ward is an athlete. I wouldn't say he is a runner like Jaden Daniels or Lamar Jackson, but he's not a statue like Joe Burrow or going back Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. Like Cam Ward's probably somewhere in the middle, right? Of maybe, I don't know who you would describe him to athletically, like just a guy who can move.
Yeah, a guy that can move. Yeah.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the comparison, and I hate to make that comparison because it's unfair. But I think in terms of style, it's applicable. We get smarter mobile quarterbacks now coming out of college who can understand how to make those adjustments because more offenses are running spread offenses.
Absolutely.
Like you're not going to find a quarterback now that's just a pocket passer coming out of college.
Those don't really exist as much anymore.
So that is where Cam has got to understand, how can my positioning in the pocket, how can my pre-snap adjustments, how can the second and third reads, like what is my change up to my fastball when teams and players like Cody Barton start to understand how I am trying to beat them.
Yep. It's fact. So to your point, somebody brought up in our chat, do you want to read it? You want me to, as it pertains to the comparisons between quarterbacks?
Go for it.
Vandy Chris writes in our YouTube chat. Y'all can check us out there. It's YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Okay, you can check us out on. But he says at Will, and he should be at me too. He said if what Moan says is true about 3-year deal, why so much hate for Will, who has had the equivalent of 1 year on tape on the field, gets so much hate from you? I'll say this too. Will gets hate from everybody. Levis said is okay. The difference is this. What has been shown from a guy like him in this second year of his that has allowed him any grace in those moments to get more time too? Then the other side of it is too, your team ends up being the number 1 overall pick because of the results of a good bit of his play.
And quarterback has a different timeline.
And they do. Especially a second non-first rounders. Yep. You see how Indianapolis is overselling for Anthony Richardson right now because he's a first-round draft pick. Anybody after that don't get this type of grace. If Jalen Hurts had gone to Philadelphia and bombed out, we wouldn't be having the legend conversation of what Jalen Hurts is to the Philadelphia Eagles at all. What I'm getting at is this. You have to be able to show that you are going to develop and some promise. I don't think Will Levis showed us any promise as it pertains to what he was going to be as a future quarterback in this current state of the Tennessee Titans. What I would say is this, let's go to the contrast of it. I think a lot of people look at guys that come out very that set the world on fire. Patrick Mahomes. You know what I said for him in year 2? He ain't going to do this to the NFL again. And he did. The ones who are good continually show you why they belong. That's why I tell you in those moments right there, in order for you to survive this NFL, you have to show me some promise in that year 1. And all Will Levis showed you was one game.
And on the learning curve of your position, because not all positions are created equally in terms of how long you get to prove you could be a pro. On the offensive line, there is a longer learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
You are afforded more time as Peter Skoronski or J.C. Latham than you are at quarterback simply because of the importance of the quarterback position compared to every other position in sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you as a left guard struggle, Peter Skoronski struggled at times as a rookie. He made marked improvement last season. How much of an impact did that make on the wins and losses, Ramon, unfortunately, for Peter?
For Peter?
Last season? Last season,
man.
Peter Skoronski from week 12 onward was PFF's highest rated pass blocker.
Yeah. I mean,
the Titans went 3-14. At quarterback, if you were the highest rated anything from week 12 onward, your team's probably winning some games. Not always.
Right.
But the quarterback position, when you get it right and when you have the opportunity to get a good one and a young one and a cheap one, has the ability to change everything. So that is why you are a bit more desperate and you are a bit more accountable for the quarterbacks that you have when they don't show promise.
Right.
Because of the value of what that position is and how quickly that becoming right changes everything. And that is where Will Levis, if he had continued to get a chance as the Titans starting quarterback this season, it hurts the other 21 guys on this team.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't just hurt him if he does poorly. It hurts Calvin Ridley, who can't get the ball on time because Levis has taken too many sacks. It hurts your offensive line that you have remade because that line is going to still give up some sacks and some pressures that they shouldn't because the quarterback holds on for too long. The operation of the entire Titans offense was subpar to the point where they were 3-14 because the quarterback position could not function at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
No, make no mistake about it. Will Levis, Mason Rudolph, whatever it is, if you want to put blame on the line, if you want to put blame on a first-time head coach and play caller, if you want to put blame on a special teams unit that was not helping you, like you can put blame wherever you want of why that was the case, but at its core, Ramon Foster, the reason why the Titans were 3-14 last season is because the quarterback position did not function at a high enough level.
Mm-hmm.
And there are causes of why that happened, but that is why we're here. That is why you go get a new one. Because it's the most important position in sports when you have an opportunity to go find it. Whether that's Sam Darnold in free agency or Cam in the draft, you go find it. When it was as bad as it was last year.
I just want to bring up that Kirky Cousin got a good bit of time, and that's not true. There's more context to that. Kirk Cousins pretty much set for 3 years before he actually got his opportunity. I'm looking at his years.
RG3.
He started 1 game his rookie year, 3, and then 5 when he took over for RG3 finally. You know the difference is between those two is he threw for almost 62%, 1,700 yards, and he had, 10 and 9, and then the next year when he actually became a starter, he threw for almost 70% completion rates with 29 touchdown, 11 interception. That's promise. The very next year on top of that, his second year of starting, he made Pro Bowl. You can project and see. He sat, and maybe Will Levis should have sat. But here's the other part of it, though, too. I think Will Levis wanted what last year was. I'll be honest with you. Will Bowling, anybody would have wanted what Will Levis got last year.
They gave him a $10 million a year running back and a $20 million wide receiver.
On top of the media.
Yeah.
He got endorsements.
Got a new head coach. Offensive-minded head coach brought here to develop him. He didn't take advantage.
He bombed out is what I'm saying. In this league, you got to show early. It sucks, but that's just how it goes.
Yeah, you've got to meet a baseline level of minimum competence.
Yes.
In order to be afforded the opportunity to still prove yourself into a third year.
Simple as it gets.
He didn't meet it.
He didn't meet that.
Takes too many sacks.
So somebody
throws the ball to the other team too much.
Tell me how he met it last year is all I would ask anybody.
No, I mean, again, we put our moratorium on Levis.
We did. You're right. That's on me.
He's not a part of this anymore. But, I mean, the question was made in the chat, so I get it. Vandy Chris says, that is a fair take, but what I didn't hear was anything about a horrible offensive line and an injury that was so significant that it now requires surgery. Does he not deserve a little benefit of the doubt? Did you not hear me talk about the offensive line?
He chose to dive.
And plus, it's almost like there was another quarterback that played behind that same line that didn't take sacks last year. How many times do we have to cover this? Will Levis's pressure to sack ratio was abysmal. It's not always the offensive line's fault when a guy gets sacked over and over. Sometimes the quarterback holds the ball too long. Will Levis cannot throw with the level of anticipation right now that Cam Ward already has in his first training camp. Some guys can throw players open. Other guys hold the ball until they're sacked. Will Levis was the second one. And I'm sorry, but in this league, at the quarterback position, you're given 2 years. And if you don't meet some kind of baseline level of competence, when you help your team get the worst record in football, you're out. See ya. Justin Fields was a heck of a lot better than Will Levis. You know what Chicago did with him when they got the chance to get Caleb Williams? Hey, buddy, we'll send you a moving truck. We'll send you some nice Toomey suitcases. We really appreciate your time here. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for your effort.
And Justin Fields was decent. When you get the chance to pick number 1 overall, you either trade that and get a veteran who's new and you move on, or you draft the new guy. The Titans chose to draft the new guy.
Yeah, they did.
615-737-1045, our number, your chance to react to the Evident Big Chat, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. And a wild story involving Memphis football and a playbook that was shared via Instagram DMs that you got to hear to believe coming up next.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation. Good people, you've been trying to stay cool this summer, but your windows aren't keeping the AC in your home. Window Nation can help you with that, man. With their energy-efficient replacement windows, your home will be comfy and cool for the rest of the summer. Better yet, here's the deal for you, too. Window Nation is currently offering you 50% off all style windows, and there is no interest on those windows until the year 2030.
As good of an offer as you are going to get, Ramon Foster, 50% off all window styles and 0 interest for 5 years. What else can you want? That's the kind of deal that Window Nation offers. No interest until 2030, and Window Nation is the very best in the business. An A-plus rating for the Better Business Bureau, a 50-point inspection of every window before it leaves the factory, and a 20-point inspection of every window when it's installed. With a 96% customer satisfaction rating, you need to trust our good friends at Window Nation. 866-90Nation. They're online at windownation.com. Again, 866-90Nation online at windownation.com. And we're back again. Promoted Will. Just like that. Here, finishing up hour number 3, 615-737-1045. We are fueled by Scooter's Coffee. If anybody wants to bring us some, our coffee machine was unplugged. Visit a locally owned location near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. We are in Midtown. DM for address at Ramon and Will.
I know.
Memphis, Ramon Foster, is a part of a little bit of a, I don't know, one of those things that just only happens in 2025 football. This story on messages between a former Memphis safety and a UTSA quarterback is crazy. So last week, Tiger Sports Report on 3 and Rivals reported that multiple sources alleged former Memphis safety Taj Rael leaked elements of Memphis's defensive playbook to UTSA ahead of the team's November 2nd game, where the Roadrunners won 44-36. Since then, On3 and Tiger Sports Report have obtained the messages of the DM conversation between Rael and UTSA quarterback Owen McCown. So it is an Instagram DM screenshot of, here you go, that's all the signals, and a picture of the playbook and of the signals for Memphis. Owen McCown, the quarterback, responds with 4 crying emojis. Then the safety says, far left is coverages. I'll send you better lists showing you the call. But they run quarters and none of their safeties can cover, by the way. No reroutes on the slot. The field safety is the weakest link to the defense. His hamstring hurting, but he running out of eligibility. So when you play him, he number 0. Bet, but let me know if they cut your stuff. I'll put in a word as Owen McCown responds back. That is wild.
That is insane.
Wild.
I never have heard of it being this detailed, this petty, and this serious, because who won that game, Will? Do you remember also?
UTSA, 44-36.
UTSA beat Memphis, and Memphis is
UTSA was good last year, by the way.
Well, they were that good. But even still, though, you don't sell state secrets like this. Like, this is betrayal of the highest level to me when he's talking about, like, football stuff. It's one thing to verbalize, like, hey, man, if they're doing this, you should watch for this. Like, that's usually, a lot of that happens. Like, I've talked to guys that played against other dudes, like, man, when he put his hand like this, you should watch this. It's on you to go watch the tape, but to have the entire playbook, that dude, man, at this point, put him in the same conversation to guys that gamble on, like, gamble against their teams.
Yeah,
like,
right.
That's where I'm at this point. He's not to be trusted. I think somebody told me yesterday, too, Purdue actually removed him from their team website also. I'm not sure if he got cut. Yeah, my homeboy from Memphis who was following this story, too, was just like, yeah, Purdue removed him from the team website. I'm not sure if that's the case, but, like, legitimately.
He's still on there.
He's still on there?
Yeah. Oh, nope, 404, page not found.
I told you. Yeah.
Oh, no, there he is. Never mind.
There he is. He did
on
show back up? Okay,
yeah,
well, either way.
He's on there. There's a bad link.
Where's the trust?
Nowhere.
Where's the trust? Hubbs brought this up again. Brent Hubbs, our conversation with him was like, there's a lot of stuff to be said about this era. Like, at some point, you got to like where your feet are, where you lay your head at and stuff. These fellas right here, man, they just move in a way that I've never seen athletes like this move, man. This is weird.
How about just like a little bit of respect for like the guys that you've grinded with in the weight room and in
what's that?
100-degree practices and I mean, just that is subhuman decency.
What's crazy is these guys, we spoke about this, they don't live together.
No,
they don't bond together.
Guys care less about their teammates in college than maybe any other era in college football.
Not to say that you gotta have roommates and stuff, but like I moved,
but freshman year you should.
My own apartment, I think I ain't moving to that thing until like the end of my junior year and senior year. You know what I'm saying? Like I had roommates all the way through.
The rule at Tennessee was you had to be on campus as a freshman, and then you could go wherever you wanted after that.
Yeah. It is.
But that's not happening anywhere anymore.
This is a weird era we living in right now. And then to think that he wasn't going to get caught. Like, broski, come on. What are we doing here? You know what they say? Go do a crime by yourself. That way you ain't got to worry about nobody telling on you. Like, bro, you involve somebody else from another team. The dude who leaked that is probably about to be on TV right now telling the story of how foolish you are. It's probably going to beat Memphis anyway if you said UTSA was solid to begin with. How dumb can you be? Like, your reputation is tarnished at this point, but you probably don't care.
This morning, Nick Saban has commented on coaching again. You see this from Nick Saban on Fox News this morning.
Going to West Virginia, ain't he?
Says, there is no opportunity that I know of right now that would enhance me to go back to coaching. He adds, this is funny, I never really had a thought about getting back into coaching until 2 days ago. Miss Terry said I had to run the sweeper in the entire downstairs. While I was running the sweeper, the thought occurred to me, when you were a coach, you had a heck of a better job than this. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So like, man, Miss Terry's put me to work vacuuming the downstairs. I didn't have to do this when I was coaching. I was trying to keep guys from going in the portal.
Way to spin it, man. I love it. Miss Terry, put him to work, man.
Miss
Keep his
Terry,
head
the real
down.
head of that household.
She is, man, a real G in that house, man. Listen, I tell anybody, when you get in and out, well, you get out of sports and you've been in for a very long time, there is a readjustment, acclimation to regular day-to-day life with your spouse, with your kids, and just people. So I'm glad to see Nick Saban. He just like me, Will. I don't want to be having a dust mop around the house either, but I do it from time to time. I ain't too proud, man. Got to keep mama happy. But Miss Terry, I love to meet her. Like, I ain't super excited about Nick Saban. I am. I'm lying.
No, yeah, you'd love to be Nick Saban.
I want to.
We'd love to
Miss
have him on the
Terry.
show. Nick, open invite. Anytime you want to sit in this middle chair. We don't have coffee to offer you, but
Yeah.
we do. We can give you some Scooters coffee.
Yeah.
We just can't make it for you here because again, if I haven't mentioned it 80 times this hour, the machine is
We should
disabled.
open complaint like this.
But yes, we'd love to have Nick on the show.
Yeah, bring Miss Terry, please. That's the only one I want to meet is Miss. Well, no, I do want to meet him. I want to meet Miss Terry and just sit with her and be like, "How did you handle him?"
There is no one whose opinion I've changed more on in my life than Nick Saban.
Yeah,
The
for
hatred
sure.
I had for him as a Tennessee fan, and again, like as a coach, obviously, the guy is the bane of existences of every other SEC team and college football team for that matter. But he has become so much more likable to me as he's gotten older. So much more likable.
Very much so.
Maybe it's just because he sits next to Pat McAfee on game day, and I think a lot of people are more likable sitting next to Pat. With all due respect, and I respect who Pat is, and maybe not some of the things he says sometimes, but I respect his success. But those two juxtaposed together, give me Saban all day on that desk.
100%.
He is doing a terrific job on game day.
He's just a no-nonsense guy, too. You got to like that for him, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
No
does.
doubt. No doubt.
Golly, what a legend. I can say that now.
You can admit he's a legend now? Good. It's not the 6 national titles. Like, no, now it's now that he's retired, I'll admit he's a legend.
Savage. I know. I said Savage. Why am I said no?
Because you were looking at Slay, just entered the F&M Big
I
Check.
did. What up, Savage? But no, Will. The 6 championships didn't do it for me. How you had a long running streak against the Vols.
Coming up in hour number 4, Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer Ron Slay will enter the mix. Plus, what Brent Hubbs said earlier this morning. If you are like Slay and you're just now entering the F&M Bing chat, we'll catch you up on the latest revolving around Boo Carter in Tennessee. What Brent Hubbs said about it this morning next.
It is 8:59. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Happy Friday. I'm Justin Hawkins. Tennessee Titans training camp week 1 almost wrapped up. They're back at practice tomorrow at Nissan Stadium for an open practice for fans to attend with a free event. In other NFL news this morning, one day after suffering a dislocated toe in his right foot and being carted off the field during practice, New York Jets quarterback Justin Fields is back in uniform and back at practice. Also news this morning, 10-year NFL veteran linebacker Jordan Hicks has announced his retirement from the NFL via his Instagram. Hicks was a 2015 third-round draft pick to the Eagles and was set to enter year 11 and year 2 with the Cleveland Browns, but opts for retirement instead, saying, quote, "I walk away with peace, knowing I gave football all I have and the best is yet to come." Hicks had 951 tackles, 16.5 sacks, and 13 interceptions in his career spread between the Eagles, Cardinals, Vikings, and Browns. Tonight, Nashville Soccer Club back in action as they conclude their 6-match July schedule. They visit the expansion side in Western Conference leading San Diego FC for the first ever meeting between the clubs. First kick set tonight for 9:30 p.m. Central Time. Nashville looking for their third straight victory. Lucas Panzica and Eddie Carvacho have the call, and you can hear that match right here on 104.5 The Zone with pregame starting at 9 p.m. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 4, 9 a.m. in beautiful Music City, USA. Happy Friday, wherever you're listening in beautiful Middle Tennessee and around the world. This is Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Ron Slade joins us in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Our first visit with him as a Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer.
HOF.
Is he back at therapy today, or is he coming in?
Probably so. I know he missed all of last week. I hadn't heard from him as yet. I feel like my dog just got up this morning. He's in the chat right now, so I'll have to text him in a second. See if he's going to be available for us,
Not seen him in a minute.
Laid on his back, getting his knee worked on.
That's right. Tomorrow at Nissan Stadium, back together weekend in the NFL. Gates open at Nissan Stadium at 10 a.m. for open practice 2025 for the Titans. Brian Callahan telling the media yesterday there will be more situational stuff, some red zone things that they will work on tomorrow. You will certainly want to see that. This will be as competitive of an environment we've seen from the Titans so far in camp. If you were at the first 2 practices, you saw some stuff. You saw a lot of Cam, obviously, and any Cam is better than no Cam. But I do think you will get a little bit more competition tomorrow.
Yeah.
As they want to put on a show for the fans a little bit, but also it's the next step in the process of camp. And they are in an acclimation period, Ramon, where you're not seeing a lot of deep balls. We talked about this last year. There's no vertical routes at the moment because hamstrings and vertical routes sometimes don't go together when you're still in July. But in red zone periods, I do think we will see a little bit of the Titans just trying to score touchdowns, something that we've not seen a ton of so far because they're not in the red zone, and we haven't seen a lot of situational stuff that allows them to really push the ball down the field.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Open field stuff is what I'm looking forward to. I do want to see Cam's reaction to how yesterday went for him. If this is a day where the offense wins, like we got to also remember Cam Ward is a rookie. His ability to be in a position to overcome a lot of the stuff that he's never seen before in his life is going to be fascinating to watch in real time, man, because again, we're talking about a guy that watched film on him and practice tape and capitalized on a mistake that he knew he was going to make again. Because I say this all the time, like plenty of the times, like you're a Tennessee type of player, and teams seek and find those weaknesses from time to time. Heck, it may have been more than just a play concept. He might have watched Cam's footwork as he dropped back, those types of things, man. So it's kind of cool to see this development in real time. But him getting down the field, the way last year went with that conversation, downfield connections, man, I'm gonna take the 15s, Will. The run and catches. I feel like before we start trying to specialize in the deep balls down the field.
Mm-hmm. The interesting thing with Cam and the offense is just going to be how they bounce back as well on tomorrow's practice, because there is always a little bit of a pendulum that swings and a back and forth between offense as a day. Defense has a day. Offense has a day. Well, yesterday the defense had a day. Question on YouTube says, if this has been answered, is there no practice today? Not going to lie, 2 days of camp, then off sounds kind of soft. There is practice today. They are in a jog-through practice today. So that is typically, Ramon, the way things work, right? 2 days, jog through kind of at half speed, then a more ramped up day. Like you basically go 2 days off, or 2 days jog, 2 days jog. Like is that a fairly normal routine?
It is, and it depends upon the structure of it too. But that's pretty normal. You got to think they're not in pads till next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, Will. So this is a good spot for this team to be in. It's a long season, y'all. I know y'all want to hear the click clack, and I do too. It's a long lead up to actually get more physical. But I'm beyond fascinated though to your point about this. With Cam having the ability to bounce back, who's either going to step up for him, or is he that type of player to say, "Hey, today's our day and watch us do work"?
Sure.
Because you got to know, like, Jeff and them are petty on that side of the ball. Defensive coordinators are just in general. If they can bury you without taking your spirit away as a teammate, they're going to.
Right. Brent Hubbs is on the show earlier this morning, our good friend from VonQuest and On 3. The latest around Boo Carter's reported absence from the Tennessee roster, and Tennessee optional, I'm using air quotes if you're not watching on Zone TV, practices. Boo Carter has been in California for at least some time. Unclear when he got there or how many practices he has missed or what his last couple of days have looked like. We asked Brent Hubbs about what his status is for fall camp next week.
There's a path for him to be a part of the team, but obviously he has some things he has to do, and he has to make amends with some people on this team. And we'll see. Tennessee is off this weekend. Josh Heupel always gives his team a long weekend and a long break right before fall camp starts. So they're off today, and they have to be back Monday evening late for a team meeting, which is the kickoff to fall camp meeting that they have. And we'll see if Boo Carter's in that meeting, and we'll see where it goes from there. This is, there's been some, I'm told there's been some at least third-party communication, if not direct communication, during this week at some point in time. I don't think Boo's been around much, if any. And so we'll see what happens at this team meeting if there's not news beforehand. To answer your question, well, I don't know how this is going to play out. We'll see. But it's obviously not the situation anybody has been looking for or anybody wants to have happen at this point in time in the offseason. You don't want to have these lingering questions out there, but this one's certainly lingering out there.
There's Brent Hubbs of VonQuest with us earlier this morning. Boo Carter's status very much up in the air. Ramon, how well equipped do you think Tennessee is to withstand the potential departure of Boo?
I think they'll be fine ultimately. Hubbs alluded to it a little bit, like, can he be a playmaker for you? Yes. Can you find somebody else to do the job? Yes. And I was talking to somebody, I told you, the guy Chris yesterday at B-Dubs, and I was just telling him, I was just like, man, I feel better about the linebacker group, the second level, and the front seven. The front defensive line than I do the secondary as it stands right now anyway. I think you can cover up a lot of stuff with schemes up front to cover the back end of it. And I'll just throw this out there, too. The way my mind is set around this Boo Carter situation, prepare for him to be out is the way I'm looking at it. Just
I would too.
My personal opinion. If he does show up, he better make some plays.
Yeah, right. Like at this point, with the amount of headaches you've caused,
you gotta show.
You gotta be a guy.
Because
you gotta be a dude.
I'm looking at his situation, knowing that he's collected one semester paying for school, he can, or his agency will, or his representation will, or I think he goes to Colorado.
Yeah, that has been the reported other destination should he enter the portal.
And also,
or not even enter the portal, just transfer.
Yeah, I know. And that's the way I'm looking at this situation. It's probably better off without, to be quite honest with you at this point. As a teammate having to deal with that type of stuff and have dealt with that type of stuff at the professional level too, it removes the black cloud over you.
Yeah, I think for me, if I could guarantee Jermon McCoy is healthy by the Georgia game, let's say that, is able to be himself, is able to be the Jermon McCoy we saw last season, then I think Tennessee's fine. If Jermon McCoy needs an acclimation period, if we play this game like we did with Cooper Mays a couple years back, Ramon, where we keep asking Hubbs every week, so is he going to play this week? No, not yet. So is he? No, not. They're still waiting on him. We don't know. Like, I hope the Jermon McCoy ACL recovery doesn't turn into that. I have no reason to believe it will or won't. That's just completely speculating. But if I can guarantee that I have a healthy and solid Jermon McCoy, I think Tennessee's fine because you got Colton Hood out of Colorado.
Right.
So that's a guarantee I can't make, though. And I worry a bit about a defense with a lot of change playing against a veteran quarterback in Steve Angeli in Syracuse in week 1, and Fran Brown, a coach that wants to go back to his old recruiting stopping grounds and make a statement against the big bad SEC with his new quarterback and new weapons and all these new things. It's a little bit of a worry on those first couple of games, and especially against Georgia. As much as you struggled to stop the pass last season with what Mike Bobo drew up against you in Athens.
So where is he starting at? Slot, corner, safety?
Boo Carter?
Boo?
Yeah, he's the star position, nickel, essentially, in Tennessee's
let's
5
be real
defensive
about
back
this,
base system.
Let's be quite honest about this one, though. Like that position is a new one.
Yeah.
That position isn't a mainstay. This isn't your cornerback 1 and 2 situation.
It's been a sub-package position in the NFL for a long time.
You cover
it's
the
becoming
middle of the
more
field.
popular because of how many offenses are spread offenses as their base.
And I'm not minimizing him because of this situation, but it is a situation where I'm watching guys play that position, and they're usually the 4th DB. Now, I can understand what his athleticism and presence and demeanor brings to a defense. I'm with you there on that side of it, too. But like I said, for myself, I'm compartmentalizing myself to say this. There's somebody that's probably as equal or just slightly below what you need from a guy like him that plays that position. If he was CB2 in this situation, we're screwed. That's the way I view that one.
Right. Like if this was Jermon McCoy, we're having a very different situation. Just because of the position they play.
Absolutely.
That he plays.
100%. Like if we're speculating that there's the idea that he's Knoxville Travis Hunter, stop.
Yeah, no,
that's what I'm saying.
He's not.
It's not that situation. It isn't 800 yards on offense with as many wide receivers that you have on this team. Like, we're not looking at that situation. I understand the infatuation that he's a Tennessee product and he's from the state and he has this charisma about him as it pertains to what he can bring to a team, and you know the name and you love it, and he's a 4-star from this state. But he and Travis are two totally separate entities. It's how I'm viewing this impact that it could have. Yes, well, do I think there's a blow to it? I won't deny that. Yes, this is a guy that has starter reps underneath his belt. Or he can help you in special teams. But there's probably 3 other guys that can play those types of roles too. You know what I'm saying? Get them up to speed. Tell your defensive linebacker core, look, we got to step up and we got to go right now. Clearly, the way it seems like it's been echoed out of Knoxville, the guys inside of that building, the players, not the coaches, don't want to deal with it.
They're pushing him out. The leadership of the team at Tennessee is clearly more vocal than it was a season ago. I'll ride with the guys that are there, Ramon, to be honest with you.
And it has to be that.
Because I don't think anyone in that roster would be reacting the way they are to Boo Carter if they weren't okay living life without Boo Carter on the defense. Right. Like from what we have heard from Brent Hubbs, from what's been reported yesterday by Richard Johnson of CBS Sports and John Talty, there was a very direct and potentially explosive conversation between Boo and some teammates, and the accountability factor of what those teammates want of Boo is clearly not being met.
No.
And I don't think they would take the risk of going after him if they didn't really feel like they were able to stand 10 toes down on something they believed needed to be addressed. Like, this is where you as a player and as the leadership of a locker room set the standard for the way that locker room and that team is run.
Man, and for the folks that want to defend his actions or he can do what he wants to, here's what I would say. Brent Hubbs brought this up, too, as it pertains to your commitment to the team. And this is college. This isn't NFL where you have OTAs and it's voluntary. College workouts aren't voluntary. There's a promise to your teammates that you will be there, either at the 6 a.m.s, probably the 10:30.
Yeah, they're just voluntary in the NCAA context.
Or the 1 o'clock.
There ain't nothing voluntary about it.
There's only one lift that's given to NFL teams. Be here at 10 o'clock, everybody's lifting.
Yeah,
there's 3 or 4 opportunities throughout the course of the day for you to get your lift in college because of class and day-to-day life and stuff like that. This situation isn't like that. Like, you grow up to commit to make it to this next level in the NFL. And you do that by submitting yourself to the workouts. You can either get it right now, or you can get into this pre-draft conversation to where you find yourself potentially being a top 5 pick like James Pierce could have been, and you fall into the 20s. We're talking about a difference of probably $20+ million in that sense. So you're not just screwing your teammates over. You ultimately are doing the exact same thing to yourself, too, as a player.
Yeah.
For the next level that you got to deal with.
Right.
So that's why it's so confusing to me in this position that Boo Carter's put himself into.
It's a real shame is what it is. For a guy from East Tennessee, from Bradley Central, from a number of high schools in Chattanooga, to be fair, and from someone that could have been an East Tennessee product, a Tennessee legend, a Tennessee guy through and through. And maybe he still is. Maybe he makes amends, and maybe he apologizes to his teammates. This is all about nothing. But as it stands right now, Boo Carter's been absent for a lot of team activities and practices, and leadership doesn't like it, and he's going to have to make some apologies in order to be back on this team again. He's not been kicked off the team, but he is also not showing up and is out in California while his guys are working. And a defense that's got a lot of production to replace from a season ago.
It's got a reputation.
Yeah, that's right. Coming up, the Titans have made a roster move. The Titans have waived a wide receiver and signed another one. We'll tell you who that is coming up next. Plus, Ron Slay after this. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone as we continue in the final hour of the week. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling, joined by 3HL at SEC Network's Ron Slay this morning. What's up, Slay? How are you?
Man, what's happening, gang? What's popping?
Well, I'll tell you what's popping is a Titans headline. You want to react to this live with us?
Say it again.
You want to react to some Titans news live with us here?
Yeah, why wouldn't I? Yeah, hell yeah. Let's go.
Our condolences. Unfortunately, Colton Dowell has been waived by the Tennessee Titans.
What?
I know.
Matt Landers has been signed by the Titans, a 6'4" wide receiver who entered the NFL as an undrafted free agent with the Seahawks in 23. Practice squad with the Seahawks in 23, Panthers in 23, Patriots last year. He has been an Arlington Renegade and San Antonio Brahma in 2024 and 2025 in the UFL, as well as a Hamilton Tiger Cat.
Wow.
Now a Tennessee Titan. Unfortunate for Colton Dowell, local guy.
Yeah, we just talked about him, too, yesterday. We were trying to think of the person that was sitting out that we knew it was one more beside Cushenberry and Snead, and found out it was Colton Dowell, and it was like, wow. Man, it was so promising. What did he have, ACL? Towards the end of the season?
Yep,
Coming off of it. Yep.
ACL.
Yeah, listen, man, it get rough like that, Savage. You know, especially when Traylon Burks doing what he doing. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Here we go.
I'm just playing everybody. I'm just playing everybody before everybody in the chat goes crazy. Just having a good time. It's Friday.
We're acting like it.
We acting like that. But Colton was my Traylon, is what I'm telling you. I had high hopes for him, man.
And you ain't wrong.
The 4.4 was intriguing coming out of UT Martin, man, small school guy. I was just like, yeah. And then the ACL happens. Like, it's funny, Sab, to speak about like sports and opportunities and stuff like that. Like, it could be an injury that derails you or the wrong team and everything else that goes into it. And I kind of want to segue into the next part of this thing because you evolve yourself. And we got this hot topic going on right now.
Right.
Opportunities that's presented in front of you. This Boo Carter situation, man. How do you, as a sports analyst now, expert, view this situation?
First of all, thank you for putting that expert on that because
Expert and Hall of Famer.
Man, I ain't been an expert in them but peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but guess what? I take it as long as I keep on climbing the rafters. When you look at it, man, I'm like, so it's two ways to look at it. One, from the outside looking in, it's like, oh man, what are we doing? We're coming off the heels of Nico. We don't need this too. But on the other side of that, man, look at what happened in the sequence prior to this with Nico. It seemed like it brought this team together. When we were able to talk to them at SEC Media Days, it was a rallying cry. You know what I'm saying? More of a, especially with this veteran group, like being able to talk to Miles Kisselman, and I think that's one of the strongest voices on the team vocally, if nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Right now in the off season. So, and he is one when you come out and speak the way he was speaking. That's not just you feeling like that. That's being echoed throughout the leadership. That's why they call it the Leadership Council. But he's been a voice for them, and they were ready to move on. They brought their team together like, man, it seems the message is nothing's going to derail us regardless of what it is or who it is. If we can get over that, then you come into this, what Boo has going on. It's one of them, man, all right, well, listen, we just dealt with this. We're not doing this again. We let that get out of hand, not only as the staff, but as players too, where they probably felt like we could have nipped it in the bud. Like, we heard about them saying that it was plenty of times that I felt like we came back from a play going 3 and out and it wasn't a voice.
Right.
If it wasn't a voice in the game, imagine what was going on off the field and swirling around the team as well, where guys probably felt like, man, I should have said something, and they didn't say anything then. So the next time you rarely get another time to go out there and right your wrongs. This is one of those opportunities to right their wrongs where we're like, man, we're not going to sit back. We're not going to sit back and wait and see, let somebody disturb what we got going on, like even delay what we got going on. No, and yes, is Boo one of the most talented in the SEC as a freshman, impact-wise? Yes, absolutely. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Was the potential very high? Absolutely. Savage says it all the time, man. Listen. With opportunities come new stars every single day. We're not talking about mid-major. We're not talking about low D2 or any of that. We're talking about Power 4, the best conference in the country, and if you were able to get to that point, you scratching and knocking and waiting on an opportunity to get there and get your chance. And here go a chance for somebody.
Well, that's the thing, too, Slay. Like, nobody is good enough to not practice in college football or just college athletics. Like, this is not the NFL where you've got leverage to renegotiate your contract. And from what Hubbs has told us and what's been reported, this has nothing to do with NIL. So even if this was an NIL dispute where you're not showing up to practice, that would be one conversation. This is just a guy that's just not showing up and not being on time to things. Like, you got to be in New York as a Heisman finalist to even begin to have headaches like that. We talk about it a lot. Like, in anywhere in athletics, your play has got to outweigh your headaches on the field. And some people can get away with stuff. And I'm sorry, like, Boo Carter is just not that guy.
You're absolutely right. And even in the pro ranks, man,
right.
You're absolutely right. I was one of those headaches. But I also knew, like, when I came into it, if I was missing because of negotiations or the contract or my payment being late, I was also knowing that I need to communicate with my guys and let them know, even if it was just, since I was playing overseas, it was the Americans, and letting them know, like, hey, y'all, whoever the captain is, hey, man, listen, I'm sitting out because of this. I'm going to still be at practice, but this is what I got going on. And then we feed that throughout the rest of the team, and now they ain't looking at me crazy. They're just like, okay, this is the business part of it, which kind of trickles down into college, but this is not that, like you said. So you don't get to this point, especially in the off season when you're trying to gather momentum, get ready to roll into the season, into training camp, and try to get ready. If it's in season, that's totally different. Like if you playing a la Travis Hunter, playing the major minutes and plays that he's playing, yeah, man, we need you a break. We're going to give you a break till Thursday. You know what I mean? You get your body together, but we know what your impact is, and you ain't even trying to miss. That's what I think people can't separate. The dogs don't miss.
Right.
Dogs are forced, like by coaches or something like that. Hey, man, like you have to sit out today. We need you to get it together. They're not voluntarily missing anything. So, yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong on that.
What I'm hearing is that now every time we have Slay on the show, his graphic should read, Ron Slay, former headache.
Man, look,
you got so many titles, Slay. Let's just add another one. Former headache, Ron Slay.
Hey, Will, you got to know who you were, man. And I know who I was. Dating all the way back to high school, man.
I love it.
It was different. The good thing about it, though, boy, when the whistle blew or the lights cut on,
you're bringing
it is show.
That's why you're That's why you're in the HOF.
There it is. There it is. Savage, you brought something up, and that's why I was saying a second ago before we came to you, man, almost, but not exactly, was this. In order for you to be that type, that guy, like Travis Hunter was different.
Yeah.
Those don't come in the NCAA or in NFL often.
Yeah.
There's differences to it, man. So like you said, the idea of those types of guys missing practice or skipping out on reps or going away from the team, you don't have those conversations. And I want to get to the other part because the basketball team and football team on campus at the same time in the summer. Savage, why is this such a big deal for those summer misses and those workouts? You ain't gotta be there, Savage.
Right.
But you do.
Explain the summer workouts and what that means.
Yeah, man. For one, the biggest thing, man, I think is the camaraderie. I've never seen a successful unit, team or anything, go into the upcoming season and have success if you didn't see them grinding during the summer. And not one or two, but as a whole. Yes, you'll see a guy doing extra work after, and you be like, man, like, they were really trying to push the envelope, like he's trying to get something accomplished. But when you see 8 to 10 guys out there getting to it when you're talking about basketball, and then when you look at football, you see, and I ain't even talking about the whole team, you see 30, 35, 40 guys out there getting down, maybe in different times of the day. You know what I mean? We got a morning workout, maybe an afternoon workout, then you come back and do something later. Like, those are the people that are pushing the envelope, man. That's why it's so important. Like, you need to be able to get – that's where accountability comes in. If I can count on you in this heat when we are not designated to be here, that's totally different. That's like nobody's making me do anything. This is what we want to do because we're trying to accomplish a goal. And if you ain't looking to accomplish that goal, then guess what? You don't need to be here. But when you do arrive back, we need to see them games that you wasn't playing around, because if you weren't doing what we were doing, and it's going to show early, we're going to be looking at you at the side of like, you're not trying to really get accomplished what we trying to get accomplished. And the first time, it gets difficult.
Wow.
I can promise you this. When they walk in that locker room at halftime or they take a break in practice after the first half of practice and they take a break, the first thing they're going to do is look at him and be like, hey, man, see, you was out here bull stuffing. You know what I mean? I almost forgot me.
You almost went to the locker room. You almost went to the locker room.
Yeah, I thought me and my dog was on the back porch. But you ain't playing around. You know, Will Lee.
All right, perfect.
You're playing around, man, and that's what we can't have, because what you got to understand, people like what's my dog that we had on from West Tennessee, the D tackle,
Bryson Eason.
Bryson. You got people like that where the window is closing.
Yeah.
Like these guys, 5th and 6th year. Like you got to think, dog. Your window wide open. As a freshman, you riding into your sophomore year. So what about me? So you don't even care, huh? Mm-hmm. Like that's one thing I always remember, man. Like after our SEC tournament, when John Higgins was ruled ineligible, we went and played Auburn against Marquise Daniels. SEC tournament, first round. We both teams on the bubble. And we ended up losing. I came in the locker room, and Brandon Crump is like a brother to me. Scooter McFadden is like a brother to me. They were in the locker room. We came in after, and they were laughing and joking because they were sophomores and had more time. So I immediately I sat down and was like, you know what? Nah, I ain't letting this one roll. And stood up. Coach Peterson was coming in to say something. I said, hold up, Coach. Hey, man, I promise y'all right now, and I hate to say this, man, because CJ is my guy watching. But y'all sitting in here joking. I mean, I hope y'all never, ever make the tournament. Ever. And you know what? They never made the tournament until it was a coaching change and Bruce Pearl came.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I felt like, dog, you can't joke around like that, because, man, that right there's a different – you playing with people with livelihoods. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put too much work in, coming back off of ACL to get back in time, getting released 5 months early. Like, come on, dog. It's different, man. It's totally different.
That hit deep right there, Savage.
Yeah, real.
Yeah, it hurt, Savage. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what it's like, man? You did everything you were supposed to do. You come out, you third-team All-American, SEC Player of the Year, coming off of ACL, and you get there. All you need to do is win one game. Let me show you how crazy it is. And you can't look at anybody else's journey. But me and Marquise Daniels, real good friends. Been good friends since high school. Still friends now, played against each other. He went to Mount Zion Christian Academy. I went to Oak Hill Academy. We rivals. We super tight. They win that game. We both teams on the bubble. He get an opportunity to get in the NCAA tournament. They make it past the first round, play in the second round. The big spotlight is on. He gets drafted by the Dallas Mavericks. That's all it takes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all. We went to the NIT, played at home. Ain't nobody watching NIT.
Right.
Even though we was playing against a historical school like Georgetown, against Big Mike Sweeten and them. We playing in Knoxville. Ain't nobody ready to play in this, man. You know what I'm saying? SEC Player of the Year, we playing in NIT. Come on, man, get me on out here. When the pro start?
Wow. It hits a little bit different. It brings to the conversation, like you said, guys like Bryson Eason or somebody that's draft eligible like Arion Carter, looking at a guy that can help that defense and say, what about us on the back end of this thing, man? So I said it earlier. I'm not sure if you was listening at the time, but I've already compartmentalized in my brain that, like, yeah, it's probably better off without. Next man up, as we like to say in sports.
Yep, I heard you, and I totally agree with it. Does it hurt? Yes, but I think it hurts much more just because it's coming off the heels of Nico. But what I think Vol Nation got to understand, too, is that it was already dealt with as well. Like, if you already compartmentalizing, then I can promise you that team and the people that approached them have already moved on as well. So, like I heard Hubbs say that, you know, the door's open for him to come back as well. But, man, if you come back, like Will said, dog, you better be doing more than just making plays.
Right.
Like, man, you ought to be the poster boy of the way it's supposed to be done.
And I'll believe that when I see it with him. I mean, honestly, Slay, and I think where I'm at too is if the team leaders were not afraid of the consequences of them maybe running him off, I don't think they would have had the conversation with him that they had. Like, it's like there are some guys in the locker room, again, like I said earlier, that are afforded the luxury of being treated a little bit differently. But you've got to earn that with your teammates, and you've got to come correct. And, I mean, for all we've talked about with James Pierce Jr., James Pierce Jr. sophomore year, he kind of earned the right. And I think the team might not want to repeat the way things were maybe with James Pierce Jr. off the field, which might also be a part of this. But James Pierce Jr. was at one point mocked to be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. Like if anyone was going to be afforded some luxuries or maybe some liberties to do things his way, it was him. Boo Carter is not James Pierce Jr. And clearly the team leadership was not afraid of what might happen if they really ticked him off, which clearly is what's happening in the fact that he ain't there anymore and he might not be coming back.
That's right, and that's exactly it. Will you hit it on the head? That was a learning experience,
right?
So there's no way we're gonna sit back and we're gonna repeat the exact same thing, regardless if you are that guy, because we ain't even got time to sit around and wait on you to see if the potential is gonna lay out. We got Georgia week 3, man. What we talking about? What we talking about?
The week
man?
you should always be playing Florida.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
Golly.
I got a gator right here looking at me. I can't wait till we get a hold of him in that last part.
We gotta wait till November. Between that,
pressing on my knee don't mean nothing. I ain't scared.
But between that and Nico Iamaleava yesterday at Big Ten Media Days saying that he moved back to UCLA to be closer to family, there's just a lot of
I heard
stuff,
you get upset about that.
Stuff
Savage.
going around right now.
I did, Savage. And to think that he said, I want to go play at the highest level. You just left the highest level in the land. You went from the SEC to the ACC where people are trying to escape. Like, what are you talking about, Nico? Like, I understand the family thing and everything, but that don't even make sense either because they was flying your family out on the jet since you was a senior in high school. What we talking about?
The win total for UCLA, I believe, is still 5.5 this season.
Come on, man. We're not talking about a two-passenger. We're not talking about a two-passenger jet. Not the little flight that Josh Dobbs playing back and forth on. We're talking about big jets. Come on, man. SEC money versus ACC money in football. What are we talking about?
Yeah. Golly, Savage. Well, you know what, man? By the way, we always get you with football stuff. The Vols basketball team picked up another addition, combo guard, man.
Eitan Borg.
Yeah.
Who's got 3 years of eligibility, and he's 22. He's going to be my age by the time he's done. Yes, he does.
Oh, wow.
Man, you got to love that, man. The dude has been playing professionally, get to walk into college. Like, think about, so this is what I want y'all to think about. Savage, you're a pro in your sport, in whatever field it is, and you get 3 years to play pro, and they say, you know what? You never played college. Let's send you back to college at 22. Can you imagine where you would have been at mentally?
Oh, my.
You know what I mean? Forget physically.
For real.
But mentally in the game to go back and play against college athletes? Come on, dog. Like, that is beautiful. And then for him to be able to play and you be able to move a guy like Jacoby Gillespie off the ball, Nate Mint off the ball, or vice versa. You put Mint on the ball with Gillespie and him on the wings with that big front line. Lord have mercy, man. That's like I'm amazed at how Coach Barnes can continue to reload, man. You see what Florida did as far as reload. You see what Arkansas, what Coach Cal did as far as reloading. Man, these front lines, you see what Houston did with Kevin Sampson. Like these front lines, regardless of everybody talking about how it's a three-point game and it's an open floor, it's fast breaking. But the teams with the front line that were able to have a great field goal percentage inside and be able to protect the rim, those are two teams that play for the final for the national championship. Wow. And that's what Tennessee was able to reload with, a big front line and guys that can knock it down from outside. So here we go.
Savage, you know how that conference, the other conferences, Greg saying he tweaked out yesterday?
TOC.
The TOC. You know how it really ain't none because you referred to it as the ACC, dog. It's the Big Ten. It don't matter. The other conference.
UCLA, UCLA Big Ten school.
They show who knows? Who knows?
You wasn't wrong to say.
Yeah, we ain't acknowledging nobody but 3 teams. Yeah, we ain't even acknowledging Penn State. Like, James Franklin, you ain't won nothing for real.
Well, Slay, I think what happened was the SEC dominated the ACC and the SEC-ACC challenge so much last year that when Tennessee was respectfully B2A of UCLA last year, the men's basketball tournament, you just assumed they were an ACC team because that's just what SEC teams do in basketball.
That's all it is, man. And I apologize for that, little UCLA guys, but y'all still trash.
They're not listening. It's okay.
No, this is what I'm saying.
If Slay says UCLA's the ACC, then welcome to the ACC.
Daggone it,
absolutely right.
He said what
Hall
he
of Famer
said.
says gets what he wants. That's right. Ron Slade, 3 to 6 on 3HL and your TV sets on SEC Network and in the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. Congrats again on a fun weekend. Last weekend, no, it was great. I know, heard so many good stories about it, Slay, and hope it is a good weekend for you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you in town this weekend?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Savage, what we doing?
Real ones got to link up.
Real ones. Ain't baby ball out of town, so it sounds like me and my dog.
Hey, bleep them kids.
All right.
That's how we going out in the weekend.
Anyway, one final segment coming up. There's Ron Slade. Slade, thank you, sir.
Appreciate you, Savage.
Thanks,
All right, there's...
I love my nephew, though.
I was about to say. All right, wrapping up the show. Coming up next.
Did you know up to 50% of the air you breathe in your home comes from your crawl space? Well, have you ever looked in your crawl space? I get it. Most of us don't even want to know what's in there, but moisture in your crawl space can create unhealthy issues that can make their way into the air you breathe every day in your home. This is Ramon Foss, and this is also where United Structural Systems can help you out. USS has been keeping homes dry and stable in Middle Tennessee since 1994, so you know they aren't going anywhere. Help control moisture and musty smells with mold treatment and crawl space encapsulation that comes with the USS guarantee. Encapsulation helps reduce high humidity in your crawl space. It also helps deter mold and mildew and protects your crawl space from pests and wood rot. So turn your crawl space into a healthy space. Reach out to the company I trust for all foundation repair and waterproofing needs, and that's USS. You can go to their website, ussTN.com. That's ussTN.com, or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
Wrapping up the show on a Friday morning edition of Ramon and Will and wrapping up the week. Special thanks to Glenn, who brought us coffee.
Hey, shout out Glenn,
Thank
baby.
you, Glenn. Right here to the station.
Hey.
We had made a plea because the coffee machine was down, and now we're back up.
Glenn.
Just in time to leave for the weekend.
You're a real one, Glenn. That's what I'm telling you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I got a glass of wine on me next time. I'm not sure if you're a shot guy, but glass of wine on me, Glenn.
Tomorrow, the Tennessee Titans are back at the practice field again. We are not there today because there is no media access today. Today is a jog-through practice with no media out there. So, tomorrow, gates open at 10 a.m., 11 o'clock is when practice will begin.
Tomorrow, 11 o'clock? That's
That's
not
right.
bad at all. That's beat the heat a little bit tomorrow?
Nah, I don't know about that, but that's okay. It's football. It's okay to watch football when it's hot. I don't mind.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Any time is a good time to watch football.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely right.
What you got planned this weekend? Nothing crazy?
Saturday, open practice. I have some birthday drinks this weekend.
Are you?
I enter my 28th year on Monday. So get together with some friends potentially on Saturday.
Monday birthday.
Dinner reservation
Let's go.
Sunday with
Yeah,
my
let's-
lovely fiance.
Let's go. Just two of you? You doing a group thing?
Just the two of us.
Just two of y'all. That's dope,
Just
man.
the two of us. That's right.
Yeah. That's
And then
what's
going
up.
to the beach next weekend with some other friends.
You got a whole week. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Well, happy early birthday. We're going to make sure
Thank
we
you.
have some type of celebration.
Entering my tar and pool year on Monday.
We doing mimosas
Number
on
28.
air.
Well, no, we can't because now everyone's going to know.
At this
We
point,
could have
I
just
think.
been drinking orange juice, and now you told everyone. And now if we drink orange juice on Monday, management's going to have issues.
We get here so early, it don't matter
Dang it.
anyway. Come on, man. Absolutely not.
Be an interesting show if we had mimosas live on here.
Well, I mean,
Sounds like a great time.
Justin said, "Don't tempt me
Don't
with a
tempt
good
me.
time."
Don't tempt me.
tempt me with a good time. Nashville SC does have is a home game this weekend too.
Away game tonight in San Diego.
Santiago.
San Diego FC, the
I was
top
like,
of the
hold on,
West.
Santiago? Like okay, never mind. Yeah.
Not Chile.
I was about to say.
Lucas will have the call tonight. 9 o'clock pregame, 9:30 kick.
9:30 kick?
Yeah, it's in San Diego.
Luke is going to have a nap.
That's right.
That would be an awesome
absolutely
trip
right.
to go to. If there's a Cali city that I'm staying in, I hadn't visited Northern California. San Diego is the spot
It is like 70 degrees there right now.
all
too.
the time and breezy too. That is a place in California where you have to wear a light hoodie, and I'm okay with that.
Petition for Brian Callahan to have joint practices with the Chargers next year.
Hey, dog.
Even though they're in LA, I know.
I'll take days off for that. You feel me?
Just go watch.
Yeah, I'll burn personal days for
Just
that
go
one.
hang out.
Absolutely. San Diego is a beautiful spot, man. People are nice and everything.
Absolutely.
What's also cool too is this group, this Tennessee Titans team, we may get the weekend off, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
they still
do
got
not.
to work.
They're practicing next Saturday and Sunday as well, next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. If you lose, this is the time of year I would lose like count of the days, like what day it was, like if it's the 28th or anything, like absolutely not. But that's what camp is supposed to be too. I'd like to say it's fun, but it's not. It absolutely isn't. The camaraderie of it, going to dinner and
It's going
stuff
to be
like
back
that.
with the guys, but maybe
Dude.
not out in 100 degrees with full pads on.
I should have asked this question because
Starting next
they have such a metro camp. Like when we went to camp at, it was all out the way. Like it was trees and nothing else around
St.
us.
Vincent College.
Yeah, St. Vincent College. I wonder, do they still go like to dinners in the city? Like after practice,
Probably.
do they have the ability to go downtown somewhere?
Like rookie dinners and stuff.
Yeah, or just dinner with the wife or, with the guys. Like, hey,
Yeah.
fellas, we're meeting at so-and-so steakhouse today.
Sure.
Come on, let's go. Because that wouldn't feel like camp to me, though. I'm going to be honest.
That's what you do when you get back from camp.
Thank you. That's the payoff.
In the week between camp and week one.
Thank you. That's the payoff.
Yeah, 2 more weekends until our lives are devoted to football again.
You know what yesterday was?
What's that?
The last Thursday without NFL football.
Until February.
The last.
Whew. I like that.
Lock it in.
I like that a lot.
Lock it in.
I like it a whole lot, except then we say this and then we're going to get really tired of the Hall of Fame game like at halftime. That's right. We're so close. We're literally so close. We've never been closer than we are today.
Because I'm
All
a
right, that's good,
sicko.
Okay. It's Friday and we're acting like it.
Because I'm a sicko, I'm going to sit down and watch it, the Thursday night game.
Oh, absolutely. Me too. Hard Knocks, you'll be seeing me.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills this year?
Yeah.
No doubt.
Hard Knocks. What do you mean? Oh,
Hard Knocks for the Bills.
Yeah.
After the Hall of Fame game.
It's right after the Hall of Fame game. We're so back.
This morning it was announced that Michigan is going to play a game against Western Michigan in Germany.
Let's go.
Ridiculous. 2026. Teams will do anything but play in their home stadiums.
Who's footing the bill from Western Michigan, respectfully?
Maybe Connor Stallions paid for the trip.
Get out of here.
No word on whether or not the advanced scouting will be happening in another
You
continent.
said maybe Connor Stallions.
Maybe Connor Stallions is only suspended in America. Is there any word on other continents? And can he be extradited if he cheats in Germany?
Hey, listen.
Allegedly?
He had that rehab of that documentary. It was just like, bro, you committed a college football crime. Stop all that crime.
Did you hear yesterday Eli Drinkwitz say Tennessee has the worst visitors locker room in the SEC?
Good.
Good. That was a question asked of every SEC coach, and all of them were like, well, none of them are good. And then Kirby Smart said, yeah, there needs to be a documentary on how decrepit every SEC visitor's locker room is. And then he looks at the camera and goes, including ours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who was the worst visitor's locker room that you played in your career?
Notre Dame.
Really?
Easily.
Interesting.
Easily. No doors on the bathroom.
That's
stalls.
Oh, no.
Yeah, absolutely. Them and Cal.
Yeah, Cal doesn't surprise me.
Cal.
It's utter woke nonsense.
It's time to go.
It is time to go. The Buck Rising Show is next, and we will talk to you Monday morning. Stephen Godfrey for an hour in studio.
Yes, indeed.
On Mondays, we will continue the college football discussion. We'll have a recap and takeaways from tomorrow's open practice. Again, TennesseeTitans.com, where you can claim your free ticket to be in the building tomorrow to see Cam Ward, Brian Callahan, and your Tennessee Titans, as Ramon Foster, as always, sends us into the weekend.
Yes, sir. Call somebody you ain't talked to in a while. Have a random conversation with somebody. Buy somebody a drink, man. ALE. Everybody love everybody. But remember, at every time, Twitter fingers in your mic is always hot, baby. We out.